Already, Nat's forced to fall back from this, so they're going to handle this for the post plant. Vitality might be actually opting into the garage area.
Check this out, though, because there is an option for TL to go for a massive flank with 3 players. They took very early control over A lobby, and it would be ceNder to intercept them. They're doing clearing all their corners, though, to make sure they can't get shot in the back of the head.
Nats is well aware, and he's calling reinforcements. They're going to move into garage right away, and they're going to deal with Twisten quickly. Still, the rest of Vitality falling back to the side. That's important, but there's another pinch in the making. Have a look at Long. It's going to be Sayf and Jamppi moving in together. Redgar taking it back, but still, Vitality playing the site.
They're doing good so far. Dart to clear out ceNder in the back gets immediately destroyed. They have to clear this close angle with Destrian, and they're just getting kills with shocks inside the smoke.
BONECOLD with the first, but it's going to go into Vitality's favor. Sayf all to himself, but it's not going to take long. He will get shut down. Vitality, first blood in the bag.
Very nice job there from Vitality, sort of playing on their feet with the multi-flanks coming in. I believe ceNder was able to escape from Long, where he was isolated away from the rest of his teammates. And even though TL had a really nice pinch into garage, Vitality were able to play down in numbers, get some kills through the smokes. They got the damage down as well here, just sort of fighting away and knowing the timing right before the smoke drops. You expect the player to be camped inside of that one. That's when the shot start comes in to snag away the kill.
I think it's good to roll things back a bit right now, right? Have a look at how things have gone with Vitality. Obviously, they've had quite a simple endeavor at the start, you know, playing, against that global esports squad. That looked stronger than anyone would have expected, but still able to take them down. Then Leviathan, that was a difficult endeavor for them. Leviathan definitely exceeding expectations. Team Liquid, on the other hand, were knocked out from their first ever match in Lock-in, right?
Yeah.
A 2-0 against Team Secret, something that no one would have thought possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really tough position to be in. I think that tournament sort of showed, like, you could fall instantly, and you only have that one game, that one day to really get a read off of them. So I think it's hard for me to take a lot of reads from TL in that lock-in tournament, and I'm definitely looking forward to see what they have to show here now that we have a league, now that we're going to see them multiple times for many, many weeks before potentially saying goodbye to them. Curiously enough, Vitality just ran into an open C site once again, with TL looking for this flank. And I'm actually curious if this is something that we just see on the lighter buy rounds or the save for Team Liquid, or if they are committing to A lobby control into flanking with multiple players, because it's something that I definitely love to see teams committing to on this map of Haven.
You could be seeing it, probably not with the entire 5-stack. This is a pistol, you have to take some chances. Successful with 2 kills here. Sayf actually finding some damage, maybe he's got a rifle, but look at that, there's guns in the play.
Yeah, there's no time to actually win this one out. So these 2 players need to die to the spike. Sayf has the rifle, so he's going to clear away and be just fine, making sure it doesn't go into the hands of the enemy, but fairly successful round there, you'd have to say, from Team Liquid. And
even though a Bulldog got picked up, they're already saying, yeah, we're upgrading to Vandals and Phantoms either way, so just best to pick those instead.
Yeah, and one of the things I was actually tracking heading into the second round was BONECOLD and ceNder both had 3 charges on their ultimate after the pistol. So if either of those players were able to find multiple kills, get the spike down, something like this, they would have had a really big ultimate to play in and really try to win out in this round number 3. Unfortunately for them, because it went a little bit sideways and Team Liquid knocked them down first, they're going to be quite a bit away from those big ultimates.
Yeah, as we step into a slight tech pause here, of course, we'll be entering the Logitech power-up round, right? So we're seeing guns in the play. Yeah, we know that looking at Team Liquid, there's a bit of a clash of ideologies, right? You've got a nice little core from Mech, previously known as Gambit. You've got the nice little core from Liquid. And both of these teams historically have played different, have approached the game differently, and we know coming into this, there may be a bit of a clash in beliefs on how this game should be played.
Yeah, I think Tom was telling us backstage, actually, he had an interview he did with Sayf, where Sayf said basically heading into lock-in, didn't necessarily agree with how they wanted to play inside the server, and has been working with the team and Redgar to sort of play a little bit more on the fly in rounds, as opposed to planning out every little thing and flow charting their way through rounds. He likes to play a little bit more fast and loose, react to the information that's given to them. So I'm curious to see how much we actually see develop in their play today.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen teams, case in point Heretics, right, that have been switching things up constantly, right? Obviously, Boo no longer being in that IGL position. The individual roles switching up as well, who is playing the second smoker, the initiator and such. I wonder if these are things that these teams in particular are thinking of as well, right? Because it's not only the ideology, it's how these players fit within that thought process as well.
You know what I wonder? Did the Golden Hornet sit down? And the answer is absolutely not. I thought maybe a pause would be enough to get them to take a little bit of a break. No. They're still getting very loud, very rowdy inside the arena.
I think Team Liquid want to respond here, actually, the fans.
I love it. I just love that the fans,
yeah.
because we're in this sort of circular setup, the fans
Yeah.
get sort of sit on the side of the team that they want to support. So it's kind of like this
Yeah.
war, this battle going back and forth.
And it's close proximity, right? So it's like everybody's shouting at each other, trying to see who is loudest. Does Team Liquid have a fan club, just like Vitality have with the Golden Hornets?
I'm actually not sure if there's a
blue
technical name.
stallions?
I know they've got
Sapphire
the horse.
Stallions.
Right, I'm pretty sure. Is it Jamppi that has the horse on the table down there? I forget where it ended up going, but I know they've got some plushies they're always hanging out with.
Yeah.
And look, I'll be honest, like fan club plushies, like either way, moral support,
Moral
right?
support, yeah.
You get first blooded, you instantly just go give that little guy a pet, and you're feeling way better.
Yeah, could make quite a difference.
Well, I just think, look,
I know that petting dogs makes a difference, right? There's a stimulus
it does.
there,
It does.
I'm not
I'm more
sure
of a
if
cat guy.
You're a cat guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be honest.
dogs are best.
But hear me out, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, pauses, they can sometimes be stressful, right? A lot of people running around trying to fix things. You know, we're up here just talking, you know, stealing the mic while the players fall asleep. What if we just had like a dog or a cat to pet, you know? So
Yeah,
keep
that'd
us
be cool.
calm,
Have a
keep us
dog
loose.
running around in the Coliseum. In the
Yeah,
pit.
yeah. It could go up to the players even.
Yeah.
You know, give some cuddles
What
over.
dog would it be?
Again, I'm a cat person. Wrong guy to ask.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
Golden
retriever, those are happiest.
I know golden retriever. Yep. A chihuahua, perhaps.
No.
No.
In the Coliseum, I think it'd be very hard to spot. And I wouldn't
true.
want any accents to be made. But it looks
Oh.
like we're ready to get into the game, everybody. So let's put our voices together and see how this one works out. Of course, Team Liquid have gotten quite some guns into the game now. Obviously, you've got Phantom Vandals. Of course, half shields across the board. We've seen Fnatic do that plenty in Locking. They've done that in Champions, but nobody was talking about it because they didn't really go far. But
No
it's
real
time to
surprises
rock
here.
and roll.
There's those Liquid fans. Absolutely love to see it. Now, right off the rip, Nats has a setup in Garage and in B. Through that camera, down C long. That's sort of a gamble camera almost. If Vitality aren't playing C early, that one stays up for a long time and is really powerful in any situation. That's a nasty little tripwire.
Vitality, though, going into the C site very quickly and actually find Redgar. Without any trade, the side is theirs, and they can simply just take their post-plant positions.
Yeah, Team Liquid need to regroup because Sayf is so far away from the rest of the team. You're not going to have a very quick retake attempt, which could cause some problems because there's situations where, okay, is there post-plant utility from ceNder? Actually, the answer is no. I don't think any mollies are down on the spike, and he doesn't have any in his back pocket to throw for a lineup. So it's going to be a late reflank into Garage, and the timing is going to be deadly on this.
Sneaky boy ceNder on a venture. A successful one at that. Very quick 2 kills. Nats trying to make his magic onto the site, but obviously greeted with a wall of lead, really. And as they look to walk into him, Nats just says no, won't be taken down so quickly. Obviously, with the clock running out, has to drop back, save that gun. But Vitality successful in winning up Team Liquid's first buy. Means that they'll be up 3-0.
Yeah, Team Liquid need to figure out something to solve this C site. That's 3 rounds in a row now.
Yeah.
They've been a little bit abused there. That was a different look from Vitality. This is the first time they really tried to split into the site. Even with the Jet getting caught by the tripwire in Garage, there was no one immediately playing off of that, I don't think. And again, with your defensive Jet playing all the way over on A, very hard to fight quickly into the site, which is something I do feel like you almost need to do with 3 players in C-Link. Will be another buy now for TL, and a new look for Vitality, playing a little bit more attention over towards the A site. You can see that Nats' setup has changed. There is a tripwire over on C. That's where absolutely everything is. But Garage is a little bit light in terms of util. There are options later in the round for ceNder to find a good lurk timing. And potentially if he creeps up early on, after you just embed Destrian down in sewers. I love when teams do this over A. Get someone very far forward and sort of listen for rotations through the B site. You can sort of pivot on a dime here with any of your lurkers and what info they grab.
Might be important as well to point out that Vitality up until this point, very explosive with their pushes. Now, do switch the pace up. With the Aljorin, we'll figure out, yeah, okay, the B site's open, let's just move into it.
It's an easy B site take now. And again, because Destrian is in sewers, he hears this drone going down A long right now. The A players are actually walking on the rotation, so Destrian can't actually calm that these rotates are coming through. And the entire team actually just faked it out, really. They just tapped it, went back. This is odd because, again, I thought the call would be Destrian on the rotations making this read, but they're just making it even without the sound.
And now the question is within the players' head, was this the right call? Have we been able to lure them away from their positions? BONECOLD dangerously low, but still alive. That's the important part. Twisten on site. Everyone is blind, whether that's a paranoia or a flash. No one can see a thing, which means no exchanges of fire has occurred. The A site fully under Vitality's control, and it's 3 left for Team Liquid. Look at the backline, though. Redgar trying to push through. ceNder, with his bot out, can't deal with it.
So huge. Redgar gets that kill. All of a sudden, maybe a chance in this round, but he's going to run into 2 players down in sewer. They're swinging him. Aggro. Destrian finds that, and TL have to call the save.
They have to call that one a day, that's for sure. Vitality looking strong, even when the pace is slower, even when their decision-making comes in at the latter stages of the round, they are very confident with their position takings.
Yeah, they just went flying into the site. I mean,
exactly.
the utility overlay, yeah, Twisten gets blinded by his own teammate, but everything was perfect to clear out the site and make sure there was no actual way that TL could get a shot against them. I think TL had the one opportunity when I believe it was BONECOLD was jumping out with the drone, and that kill didn't end up happening. That was the one weakness perhaps in the attack. But apart from that, Vitality looked fantastic. And I also think that Vitality throughout that round chose what information they were feeding to Liquid, which was really cool to see, because they were very quiet after the explosive, putting Destrian up over towards A. They were quiet into B, faked that site hit, and then walked on out. And it wasn't until they fully committed into the site that any util or any footsteps were actually made. Which is very cool how they were able to pivot throughout the round, and something you want to try to do on Haven is pull those rotations and punish as soon as players leave the site.
And what everyone is hearing right now is something these players haven't really dealt with too much of, right? Obviously, you've got experience in the international stages, but having a European crowd behind you, that's insane. Destrian, first blood, in the bag as he pushes through short.
And that's after Liquid committed 4 players to fight for A. Sure, the breach wasn't there, but he was trying to concuss for the team, flash, and do everything. They're tripled up down long, but still down in numbers.
Ooh. Twisten losing his life like that just mitigates the advantage they gained early. And back to 4v4.
It's exactly what you need to do, though. I think down in numbers is look for some kind of offensive play, try to catch Vitality in transition.
Now, they've done that, but the move towards B is imminent. And that one's clear. We're looking at a retake if that push commences.
Nats does have a retake camera. You can actually see inside the door over near C-Link. That he can click into. Actually, did that get destroyed? Didn't quite catch that one. I believe Vitality saw that, were able to break it, but TL are quick here on the retake.
What's important about this play is that ceNder's got full control over their spawn, so no flank is coming. The rest can focus towards side.
MOLSI and ceNder both have ult in the post plant. That's gross. ceNder's a little far away to actually activate that one, but breach ult can come in at any time.
This is super strong for Vitality. Team Liquid really need to bring out the heroics, really need to bring out the good gunplay to try and make this work. Otherwise, holding there will not work out. Destrian, first blood, putting more pressure onto Team Liquid. Flash has been thrown at them, nano swarms, everything. Even a lockdown to guarantee, and they still have MOLSI's Rolling Thunder as a guarantee. Over is an understatement. Team Liquid are out of there, and Vitality secure a 5th consecutive round. And Team Liquid, there's nothing of theirs on the board.
This is crisp play out of Vitality. Their map choice looking very good on it. And still having all that utility in the post plant, from the paranoia to the breach concuss, the fault line, it's all in there. So far, the main 2 looks we've seen out of Vitality. It's the fast C hit, and it's the early A, fight, getting Destrian up there, and then pivoting back over towards B. They've both looked very strong. I'm curious how many more thematic openers they have in their comp, because or in their playbook, really. Because I think the more options you can show, the more confusion you give over to your opponents, the harder it is for them in a timeout to figure out how to play against that, right? This timeout, probably talking about things like this Omen working down short. We threw so much utility into it. As TL, how did we not actually get the kill? That's going to be a big question. How do they maybe change their setup to punish these late B rotations? Will it be late re-aggression out of Garage? Is it trying to activate a fast flank? Something like this. They need something in the toolkit.
I guess you could also say it's a lot about tempo, right? I feel like Vitality have had a clear grasp of that. Team Liquid haven't been able to pace up the game like they would have wanted, always walking on eggshells. Vitality there, they're comfortable with this, and they've got an entire crowd behind them just shouting their name. Has to feel that much more confident,
It's a good spot to be in, that's for sure. So Sayf is going to play aggressively up mid. And the question is, how far does he go, and does he actually post himself up underneath window? Because that's an angle, right, that could be very punishing for Vitality if they try to late play into B. But with Vitality setup, I think this is just the fast C hit that they went back for in the first 2 rounds.
They've tried slow and steady the past 2-3 rounds, but now they want to opt to switch things up again. Team Liquid taking some proactivity themselves and push towards mid to gain that info.
And these trips have to be played off of, though, because Jet can just go immediately straight off them. I like this ult from Jamppi, but I don't think it found anything.
Yeah, not a thing. No info, no tags. So the site is clearly under control of Vitality. They even get a kill through the smoke.
Wow.
Nats is down and out, and already Team Liquid out of this advantageous position.
MOLSI has ultimate again in the post plant. Team Liquid, how do you get in? Double flashes on soulcas. That's how you try to put something together.
Sayf, it's time for the you shine. Doesn't go with the commitment onto the dash rolling thunder. Committed to, but that's to the back of the side. It seems that soulcas might have sidestep it, but no. Jamppi into the fight will be taken down. Vitality full control of it, not handing Team Liquid a piece of it. And Vitality just don't stop taking off of their opponents.
This is just brutal. It's save after save after save. Team Liquid can't do anything, right? Like, Nats falls in the middle of a smoke trying to get a spam kill off of his trips, but Vitality aren't even activating those. The entry into side has been perfect. I don't think Team Liquid are actually fighting on side at all. I think that's something that may have to change for them on C. If the kill trips aren't paying off, you have to do something. Otherwise, you're giving up C, and what's the option? Right? They're not activating flanks. They had mid control that time around, but Vitality are never in fear of turning around and dealing with any player from behind.
I was over into the makeup room and I bumped into BONECOLD, right? And he looked chill as ever, right? He was talking about, oh, I haven't figured out this signature. Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to draw a bone and an icicle or something to try and make up a signature? I haven't figured it out. My letters aren't nice either. But he was super chill. Didn't really feel too, you know, worried about the upcoming game. And this is exactly what I'm feeling from Vitality either way. This is fairly comfortable for them.
I mean, honestly, it doesn't feel like they're getting challenged. I think this is the 3rd time now they've gone into the C site and just no one's been there. It's like, okay, I guess we're chilling. The fast retake, though, I like this from Sayf.
Oh, he's in the smoke! BONECOLD goes aggressive. Speak of the devil, ceNder pushing forward as well. Team Liquid not hitting their mark at all. No fight to be won from their end. And Vitality just take it all home. soulcas won't even be able to deliver against BONECOLD again. 7-0. This is running out of hand.
Fans still here in force. But man, every single player just lost their fight on this retake. I mean, running into a one-way, Destrian from back deep, absolutely disgusting, shutting it all down.
Yeah, even after the timeout, Team Liquid haven't been able to shake this off.
Vitality aren't having to go deep in the playbook either. Again, it's just 5 players down C. This time, TL activating very fast through mid.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And it will be the triple flank. Just the light buys, it seems, that TL want to go for this route. And there's so many pieces of Killjoy info to be fully aware of what's happening. Still Sayf with knives in hands. It has to be him.
ceNder doesn't get stunned, sidestep, but is shown from the recon. Flashes way, but still not being pressured as more is thrown towards Team Liquid's position. Now, flashes yet again, delaying them little by little, keeping them at bay. That's all they need. Carbus dropping, ceNder delivering. That's the only player that could have done much. Sayf had his plays out. No one else has a gun apart from pistols. And this is clean from Vitality. Nothing pressured. And they may be looking for yet another flawless round here.
Solid reactive play once again from Vitality, rather.
Yeah.
But this has not been the opening Team Liquid have wanted whatsoever.
What's going on?
I mean, literally, Team Liquid are not fighting Vitality on the C hits, and that's been, I believe, 5 of 8 rounds, maybe 6 of 8 rounds. And the other 2, it's been Destrian getting util to set him up to find a pick down A short. Like, Vitality have not reinvented the wheel. I think what they are doing is very clean, it's very crisp, they're playing very well, but it's not like they're being challenged to come up with a lot of different ways to start off these rounds. This is actually the first unique look, which has been more fighting for mid.
Exactly, and I feel like Team Liquid had a response for this early C hit right now. I mean, they spent soulcas on the breach on C as well to try and assist to that if that crunch would have commenced again. But no, Vitality, once again, switch things up when it's vital. Good reading, good IGLing.
Now, interestingly enough, Twisten has the operator in hand. Because he has Blade Storm, I do think this is a little bit more valuable on attack.
Whoa.
Great opener from Sayf. Sayf also with the operator, but can he get out?
Yeah, that's what he needed. Get one kill, get out. Now Team Liquid have got the advantage.
All the Cypher setup here too. I do believe that ceNder should be able to hear the Cypher cam being tapped into from short. But this is how Vitality have wanted to play. They want to get someone very far forward, up, down, A short, now working over into C. But are they going to be ready for Redgar's forward position?
Oh, Redgar being a sneaky boy. Destrian, first of all, and he'll just keep on holding this angle. Paranoia. He can TP away if he wants to. With that flash coming his way, he might just do that, but instead, no, holds with a dark cover and repositions in case he gets pre-fired. But look at this, Twisten inside of the smoke with a shorty while the rest of the team move into A.
Yeah, ceNder popped the trip over on A short, so Nats is completely aware there's a player here. And with Jamppi making it up through mid, this round is falling apart. It's going Liquid.
Yep, Jamppi eventually being the saving grace for his team. Good telegraph play of what Vitality was trying to do. Good call out from Nats to say that ceNder's on the A site. They're going to try and rotate, and Team Liquid finally respawn.
There they are. In the 9th round, Team Liquid show up. And how do they do it? It's with forward positions, aggressive positions. Sayf, the operator, finds the first pick. That's absolutely fantastic. But also, finally, we're seeing them fight aggressively forward down C long after they get the info of multiple players down C2. Jamppi, clear space in mid, catches them in the rotations. And you see more of this from TL. The last 2 rounds of this half, the last 3 rounds, going to be very important for them to replicate.
I'm not quite sure, but was that the first round that Sayf was able to get his hands on an operator?
Yes, it was.
And we're already seeing dividends of that.
100%. And again, I think it was actually a great read, the position. They haven't sat down, by the way.
Yes.
The check-in for the Golden Hornets. Still up. Doesn't matter. They lose 1 round. Still feeling very good about themselves.
Hey, this is really impressive in the regard that, apart from the Golden Hornets just being insane, this is actually a really smart from Vitality. As soon as Team Liquid get any say in the game, they just pull the brakes and say, okay, well, good luck taking the momentum. We're just going to break it straight away.
See, I thought you were going to say it's impressive they've been standing the entire time.
Oh, no,
because you've been standing, but I've been sitting down this entire time.
Bro.
I'm a huge chilling here in a little in a booster seat. Not a booster seat, a booster seat.
A booster seat.
Yeah, that's how I like it. But
technically, the booster seat is still a booster seat because he boosts people. He's just that good.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Now, okay, one thing that I do want to credit Sayf with, especially because we were just talking about he gets his hands on an operator, but I think the position he found himself in to find that kill, going for a slightly delayed peak, slide off angle, down sewers over near A was absolutely perfect. Knowing that, again, Vitality like to embed someone down in that position, I think that's very good from him. And I think that this may be something being discussed in this timeout is if the operator is in play, where's it going to be? Where are the most likely angles? Because I think fighting sewers and also fighting C long are going to be the best options, the options that in the weaknesses Team Liquid have shown, that's the 2 spots you want the operator.
It's definitely a difference from a set play approach and more of let's try and chip away at them so by the time they enter a site, they're weakened so we can deal with them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Team Liquid need to find themselves in positions they can get numbers, cut off the rotations. Last round, picture perfect for what they needed to accomplish. And Vitality, back to the basics, okay? This 1 round, they play mid and go for the late control over A. Okay, they get punished there. Will it just be a classic C hit? Will it be early A into the B fake? Will it be something entirely new?
I think we can put into perspective the 2 IGLs as well, right? Both of them sort of on a redemption arc, right? Both of them haven't had the best of 2022, right? Considering, you know, the victories that they might have had, you know, for example, Redgar had with Mech in Masters, right? Or Redgar, well, I mean, BONECOLD not having the best year prior to this. I feel this is their redemption to something that some heights they haven't hit in a while.
I think for so many players in Valorant, this year is the big reset button, right? You know, brand new studios, brand new leagues, right? Shiny.
Brand new rosters.
Brand new rosters, brand new orgs, teams, everything, right? Like, this is your chance to really redefine yourself, hit the ground running. And Vitality have done absolutely that. Now they have to be able to find a way to close and carry that on for at least the next 8 weeks.
And as the timeout finds its end, we can jump right back into the server. Reminder for anyone that has just tuned in, Vitality has won 8 consecutive rounds and Team Liquid has just broken that tempo.
They've swung it back for them entirely. You're wondering what Vitality were going to do and where the operator was going to be. Sayf taking big damage there. And again, just the light armor in hand. So he's down to 61 health. That's not going to be ideal for him. And we'll reposition over towards B. Now, this time around, Vitality, they drone. They make noise over towards the A site, but they're not actually committing and leaving any player in that position. I think this may end up looking very similar to their C hit in round 3, where they split in through Garage. And because they have the ultimate on BONECOLD, they can use that to supplement the hit and clear someone potentially out of window here. Yeah,
and I feel like this clearing out of the window will be quite a simple endeavor. I mean, there's no support. Yeah, see, throw something at them and they'll just move away. Redgar looking to stick around this time around. He's low already, being sprayed across through the smoke. soulcas finding one, but Redgar off on the site. Now they're being isolated one by one, and Vitality yet again making the C hit successful.
Absolutely gorgeous play right there. They don't even have to commit any ultimates. You can see still 3 in the inventory of Vitality. Team Liquid are going to try to re-clear space, but again, because they have all the post-plant util in the world, Vitality just abandoned the site entirely. ceNder is going to be that late backstab in Garage, potentially even sending Twisten over there as well.
Spike touched. Team Liquid have to push forwards. Nats isn't even in the fight.
Wow.
He's going into Garage just now, shutting off ceNder. Potential for Sayf to hold on, but no, they're back out. They save their guns, that's it.
I do think one thing I've noticed from Nats in virtually every single post plant on C, it's been a very late Garage window peek from him. And I think that Nats is a player you can maybe try to, like, I feel like he's been impossible to read for so long that you try to look for any value of consistency so you can know playing against him. That's something maybe teams can think about heading into the future. Is no, that's not okay.
So big. No operator now for the Team Liquid side. And that was the reason they were able to win that one round they did win.
Yep. Trying to take a little bit of look at the money. I think Redgar actually has enough to buy an operator and drop that over to Sayf, so it's going to be okay at the end of the day. And I do also want to...
How okay is it though?
I mean, with one more round left after this, I do think they're in a world where they can't get an operator heading into round 12 if they lose this one and aren't able to carry that through. So perhaps that is a difference.
Yeah.
But this round, not too bad.
And Redgar that was up, finding Team Liquid in the game. 2 picks, and now they're ahead.
When they fight C long aggressively, Team Liquid have been successful both times it's happened. That's a 3rd on the round.
Redgar, the captain, just says, wait a second, I've got this. Calm down. Easy.
Where has this been?
All they had to do is push up C long.
I mean, Vitality have done it the majority of rounds. And now it's punished. Tough spot to clear. Jamppi finds 2.
And to be fair, flawless round is what they needed, right? Get that confidence running again. They know they're good, right? This is a stacked roster. We just got to put that cohesion in there and just feel comfortable once again.
I love that too. Playing 2 players fighting down long with the operator, and then to punish the wide swing, the rifle tucked in close, up close and personal.
There's a barrage of ultimates.
There's a barrage of ultimates. There's a barrage of cheers. Both sides of the arena getting active.
Look, 9-3 isn't too bad. They can potentially bring it back.
That is true. We'll have to see TL how successful they are in the attack. Now, Vitality, how do they change things up? Well, they smoke bottom of C. They don't want to fight that early on. And it is a slower mid-control focus start for them with ceNder watching down A lobby. Now, the difficulty will be if this ends up being an A conversion for Vitality, you have to commit BONECOLD's drone. Otherwise, this op is going to wreck them in bottom sewer.
Smoke on A long, indicating Vitality's intentions.
They do it.
Our drawing, spotting off Sayf. Does he stick around? Cloudburst, potentially thinking of it, but thinks better of it. Drops back, has to use the stun, the dash.
Here it is, though. The map fundamentals for Vitality. I think this is such an interesting case of how to learn how to play Haven, embedded once again down sewers.
Omen v Omen here on C long.
Shorty meta, shorty meta.
Redgar.
Vandal meta, Vandal meta.
Oh, rolling thunder! That's not going to help his case. onto the side. What? Redgar able to get it. Twisten through the smoke though brings out the shorty. Team Liquid have rotated over, but there's only 2 of them. The 2 will remain to come. Twisten onto the top of the site. soulcas deals with him. Hunter Suri trying to get it through. soulcas still holds on, still delivering. Team Liquid want this. They want this bad. They can't let it drop that easily. And BONECOLD to himself will have to remain as such. And Team Liquid close out the half at least with 1 win.
What a hold there from TL. Somehow, Redgar gets a kill through the Rolling Thunder, through the monster concuss that was laid on him. Fantastic stuff. At the same time, there's so many things happening in the moment with both Sovas using the Hunter's Fury, but Nats popped the neural theft for the info that then Jamppi was trying to find connections with those arrow bolts on the Hunter's Fury. Insane combination from TL to hold down the fort.
Look, and it felt like this was one of the rounds that Vitality felt a little bit more messy than others, right? Where Team Liquid were able to take control due to the fact of being defenders. Their role was a little bit more well-defined. And, you know, through that maybe slight miscommunication of who had to deal with what with Vitality, with Redgar holding out that close angle, with having to deal with the rest of the site, it took a lot of time for them to deal with.
That was a crazy round, but we have Yinzu standing by with Daniel from Riot for what he has to say on the series, on the tournament, on whatever it is. Please take it away.
Thank you very much. And he's got a lot to tell us, actually. I'm joined by Daniel Ringland, the head of Valorant Esports here at EMEA. First of all, you were sitting behind the Golden Hornet in that first half. What was that like?
I've got to tell you, it's pretty amazing. There's 8 people up there from the Hornets holding battle with about 50 people from Liquid over here. And I got to tell you guys, you're amazing. They've got like 5 different songs. They know every word.
The synergy is there.
It's unbelievable. They tell me in a couple of weeks there's 25 Hornets that are going to be here, and I just can't imagine the noise. They're losing their shit up there. It's amazing.
Yeah, obviously the atmosphere is great right now. You've been here for the last couple of days. Talk me through what the experience is like. Because for the people at home that might be thinking about making the trip, why should they?
Oh, look, if you're on the fence about coming down to the Coliseum or not, you just better get onto it because we're selling out of tickets really quickly. And when you look around, you can see everyone's having such a great time. They're so close to the players. There's singing. We got bubble tea here. It's just amazing. I'm having a great time. Yeah. I think everyone here is having a great time as well.
You had me a bubble tea. You had me a bubble tea.
That sounds like a yes, I think.
Yeah. And lastly, before I let you go, it's only day 2, and we're seeing a lot of surprises. Did you anticipate things to turn out like this already so early on?
I think it's one of those just expect the unexpected type situations. I mean, already we've had so many surprises, and when we look at this season to come and the 10 teams we have, you can't predict it. You're just going to have to watch.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, the 9-3 curse, that might come true in the second half, given the surprises we've seen so far. Back to you, ENDER and Pavlos.
Of course, come down to the Coliseum in Berlin. It's a lot of fun here.
Come to Berlin. Check out the Coliseum. It's always a good time.
It's a good show.
Also, I just know there's so many people watching around the world. We also have a bunch of wonderful co-stream booths, so we can get some people in the studio as well. So hi to all you little co-stream frogs out there. Nice to see you. Now, Vitality, they're trying to play aggressively through mid. Look at that, 20 seconds into the round, and that's when they decide to step up. This gives them very quick flank options. It also destroys TL if they ever decide to call off this A-side hit, which they may end up doing because Sayf is not with the team.
I love this early productivity from Vitality. I really do. Quickly taking the pressure to their opponents. Could it fragment them even a little, can't they?
Look at this, though. Smokes and the drone coming in.
Oh, it turns out to bite them, though, because Destrian was alone. Couldn't quite trade the kill off the Nats.
Look at them up in window. They killed those rotators. That's exactly what I was talking about. Now, it's just 1 kill, and there's players all over the map. Redgar is going through A-Link right now, while Sayf lurked onto the C site. This is crazy.
And he's gaining immense of information right now.
And they're going to fight forward?
They are. They're going to try and pincer them in straight away. Redgar draws out the classic, does damage, and eventually the kill. MOLSI close by, trying to push it through, but there's Redgar still in the backline that they have to deal with. Team Liquid crush Vitality's soul and get themselves pistol number 2 of this game.
What a round there from Liquid. Okay, slow to get here, but now they have arrived. I absolutely loved that. The pump fake over towards A, Sayf lurking up C. The Redgar long flank through spawn too. And all the timings on those looks were so good from TL when they decided to walk into site. At the same time, info is being given on the opposite side of the map, whether that's the drone or the jet actually committing and making noise. Vitality were absolutely caught off guard. And that was after they had a fantastic forward position up mid.
I have the spike.
Only one defending this A side actually here. It's Twisten with the assistance of the stun of MOLSI. So this fight could be
What'd
quite
that wall
quick.
do to him?
Sayf is going to be pushing through though, and Twisten will be taken down. So simple stuff for Team Liquid.
Yeah, it's a tough world for Vitality to be living in right now.
Spike planted.
But this gives me some wonderful time to preach the good word of the shorty to all of you. Look, Vitality, they're going to get slain. You're not going to be able to do anything.
No, you're really not.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
This is a shorty trailer, I feel like.
This is a shorty trailer,
Okay.
100%.
Or an advertisement,
Because
I guess.
now that we have so many teams not spending the extra 600 credits to go for full armor, they're just going for a half armor the majority of time, like you can see here. What's 150 credits going to cost you to upgrade into the shorty? You're still going to have plenty of money to get the rifles going on through.
Guys, it's on offer. You never know when the price is going to go up again.
And literally, you can't put a price tag on the Stark So Clutch from yesterday.
You cannot.
He needed the shorty to pull that one off.
It
so
wouldn't have worked otherwise.
Absolutely would not have. And we've already seen all throughout last half so many shorty secondaries. There are so many players that are doing this right now. It's not like I'm capping. This is real stuff.
But this is the first buy round of Vitality. And it's a question of how Team Liquid are going to be dealing with this one. Obviously, they're on the attack and already showing quite a lot of presence here to the right-hand side. Our join expended, spotted, Vitality, deciding that the fate of this A side will be on BONECOLD's hands.
It's very true. Now, Redgar is the solo pistol player on TL. That's, again, why he's taking more of the lurk role here. Not as influential on the site hit, but was maybe trying to hear things. I think he should have been able to hear the Killjoy turret in Garage. He's going to try to smoke, perhaps walk past that to find alert timing. Never mind, he blinds it.
The main deal of this round is for Team Liquid to kind of obscure their movement and trying to fake that left-hand side while they just move into A.
They have been able to keep 3 players over towards the C site.
Yeah.
Here comes all the util to flush out A. Nobody actually playing on site. But BONECOLD gets a spam.
That's going to make things simpler for Vitality.
Well, now Vitality just chill out, right? You have numbers advantage, wait for the plant. The rotates are now going to come in, but you still have to be mindful of the Redgar flank.
Yeah, patient on that shock dart. Eventually, this is when the spike is heard, we'll end up throwing it. So mitigating how much damage, how much health Team Liquid could potentially have. But Redgar on the back end, ceNder has got eyes behind his head. No way he just got that. Now Twisten aggressing, Sayf. No, can't hold it through. Vitality on the flicks. Flicksville today. And now Jamppi trying to hold the fort inside the smoke with just a Spectre and a Sheriff. The job is done. Vitality on double digits.
Wow, from BONECOLD finding that opening kill through smoke to the retake looking very nice. Well played, Vitality. Also, I only realized at the very end of the round, Redgar had, I believe, 5,900 credits and only a Sheriff in hand. That has to be a blunder from him. You have to be buying there. I'm all for the light armors, the save, the turboing your economy, but that's not the right plan, I think, for him. Maybe just missed that while trying to call out what he wanted his team to do.
Look, there's a clear idea behind this entire map. Vitality, having prepped this solidly, have got some very good ideas of their attack, and now their defense is looking strong as well. Their cohesion with those retakes. Well, at least one. The one retake we've seen so far. So far, it looks good.
The one that mattered. The one that mattered.
Exactly. The one that's put them on double amount of rounds that Team Liquid has. And it's clear why they've picked it.
I always get nervous when someone steps out into mid like this from Twisten. Because you have the ability, especially if there ever is a garage split into C, which is what TL are sort of feigning right now as they throw that window smoke again, similar to last round, and the drone. That you step up. This is what I was talking about, Twisten. As soon as you hear that, and you have the forward position in mid, you can always punish. That's huge. And at the same time, TL weren't actually trying to do that play because Jet and Breach were still both over towards the A site. It was supposed to be a fake to pull rotations, and they just lose a player for it.
The foresight of the man. And again, BONECOLD on A site duty. Maybe MOLSI to help out. He's got quite a lot of useful utility to just throw at him. Try and help it, delay it, and maybe set him up for a kill, and that may be exactly what's happening. Together with a stun, BONECOLD swing, that's one. That's what they need to do. Just keep on trading, but they do more than that. MOLSI assists in that endeavor. And now Team Liquid with half the amount of players alive, 25 seconds, the pressure keeps mounting, and the rotations will keep on coming in from Vitality. MOLSI maybe doesn't need teammates. All he needs is himself and his rifle. And he keeps on putting bullets between the eyes of Vitality's players.
The rifle and that fault line. Oh man, MOLSI, absolutely fantastic on the round. The 3K to take Vitality up to 11. That fault line so powerful in so many different situations, right? C long, down sewer, A main, right? These vertical lines that the attackers have to work through uphill into the breach. And MOLSI's there with the rotation. MOLSI's there to shut it down and support BONECOLD that was sort of trapped in that one and done angle.
Yeah, I have a fear here that Team Liquid aren't quite able to deal with the slight complexities that Vitality are bringing to the table, right? These early mid pushes, the push and pull that keeps on happening. It's quite alarming.
So the thing is, I actually really like the way that Team Liquid are trying to play this attacking half. It's so much disinformation, very similar to the sort of A fakes, I would say, or the A lobby control plays that Vitality were going for in the previous half. This one has been a little bit more about trying to put pressure on Garage, right? That round, though, it was just the perfect read coming through from the defenders to find that little wraparound on mid with the early position. It's something I think Team Liquid need to be aware of. But I do think a lot of these rounds are coming down to timings and the sort of steps you have to take as a defender, as an attacker, whether it's lurking through when TL are going for these very spread out cross-map plays, or whether it's Vitality trying to find that loop around into mid. I think so much of this is about the game sense of when you pull the trigger on a play. Even last round, MOLSI using the fault line down long. I don't think he had info of the sound. I think that was a timing play that he was calling for BONECOLD to swing around that angle as well, which is just absolutely fantastic. It was a little bit delayed because one player got on the outside of it, but it's been very cool to watch how Vitality change round to round, and again, how they bring this breach to set up another play into mid.
Yeah, and with that timeout, hopefully Emil has been able to put the team back on track. His brother Doombros and his team, Na'Vi, didn't quite catch the win yesterday, so maybe this side of the family can get the job done. Obviously, still early doors of this series.
Watch this fault line, though, because there's a world where they step forward. Vitality are moving up to play off the blind, the fault line, everything, and they cut Team Liquid down.
It's successful, and they keep it going. Keep up the pressure. Redgar trying to retaliate, but the job has been done already with 2 players left on their end of the side. And the spike left behind with not much to play with. This is a tough endeavor for them with Vitality falling so far back now.
These delayed mid-aggressions from the defensive side, this is how you punish a slow team on Haven, because usually you'll be trying to set up this play around a minute when you try to commit into Garage. That's the second Team Liquid are actually trying to take space, because they've just been holding those windows for so long, and they get absolutely murdered.
Lose this round and it's pretty much over for Team Liquid, so they've got to make heroics happen here. Putting faith on the Redgar, but Twisten's got his number, knowing where he's coming from. This is the first shot. Oh, it's rough, but Redgar gets it done cleanly. Doesn't lose any of his health in that endeavor. Destrian, though, deals with Nats, knows where Redgar's coming from. I mean, he's got friends. And his brother-in-arms is right next to him, Redgar. Pushing forwards, but Destrian ready for it. And Vitality on 12, just 1 away from closing down map 1.
Fantastic. Vitality giving a bit of a show here for the fans. The overlay of utility, piece on piece on piece here. Just built this impenetrable wall. The timings are there. Vitality, that's something they practiced right there. The setup, 2 in B, 2 stepping out of Garage. Now they've got ultimates to play with as well. I think BONECOLD actually had the Hunter Sphere in the last round, but didn't even need it.
Early on this Fury, Redgar's actually spotted here. Ooh, another spot. Vitality early picks and throwing everything at them. They throw a Hunter's Fury, they throw a Rolling Thunder, they gain a kill, and they're just going after them.
And if you run away from this, what do you find? Twisten's operator top site C. There's no good answer other than to fight your way back in.
They're not letting up. They throw an Aljoin towards them as well. And Team Liquid are not comfortable with pushing this. They're taking it slow, but eventually went off the kills. And now they can just move towards this A site now that they've gotten 2 picks.
Vitality a little bit greedy there with the numbers, trying to hold that forward position in A lobby. TL shut it down, but we're only a minute in. So much action so quickly. We still have time. Now Twisten's taking a very forward stance over towards C. So if TL leave this site, it may just be over for them. They're going to loop around on Destrian. They have to kill Destrian.
Destrian just holding it out. Ooh, the pick is there, and the ceNder, but he's quickly eliminated. Destrian's still
low.
alive, he falls back, he's softened up Jamppi, and Sayf as well.
Another flank. Now Sayf was able to switch over to a Phantom. Pick that one up in lobby. So both players now coming through
It's
short.
uncomfortable. Jamppi, good little swing there, catching him off guard, but Twisten is there with the blades. Double kill, Sayf is low. One blade should do it, but Twisten has to be more accurate with his. He needs a headshot, while Sayf can hit anywhere. Twisten can hit anywhere on the body.
He saw him!
Oh, it's tough. Ring around the Rosie, touching off the spike. Shorty held off, but even the Shorty's good enough. Sayf is so low. And again, going all the way around the roundabout. Sayf with a right click. Team Liquid still in the game.
Sayf wins on the merry-go-round right there. Absolutely nuts that Twisten even put his team in a position to win this with 2 kills dancing on through. But Sayf secures it at the end. It's still alive for them. TL fans not quiet just yet, and TL have a lot to play with heading into this next round as well. Rolling Thunder, Jamppi's Hunter's Fury as well. And Vitality, similar to the last round, actually not playing too far forward. Should I say dissimilar to the last round?
Early flash, Destrian. They check it, Vitality come off on top. Not what Team Liquid
Rolling
would have
Thunder.
liked. Rolling Thunder, but is there follow-up, right? They need to move in quickly together with Hunter's Fury. Is it good enough to find ceNder? It is, and now they've leveled the playing field. The site is theirs.
Great comms on that one, knowing exactly where the killjoy is. Watch the flank though, Jamppi's here
Oh,
for it, and
Twisten!
Jamppi gets him.
He's down. Team Liquid, remember, it's a mountain to climb. They need 6 rounds, but little by little is all they need. So if they close this round comfortably, it's a good way towards that main goal. Vitality moving into the site. This is a tough one. One way towards a Spike's position.
Oh, no.
Aftershock into Redgar together with a stun. Vitality picked them off. Oh, they're going for it, and they still have another flash to play with as well. MOLSI! He's making it look so easy! Smurfing all through the server. And Vitality bring the clutch home to close out map 1 of the series. Damn, did they make that look good.
MOLSI ascended to close out that game. My word. A man on a mission, a warpath down long. Kill after kill. Throughout the game, utility on point from him, gunplay on point. Everything coming together in a fantastic debut in home territory here for Team Vitality.
It's definitely looking a lot better than it did last time around. We saw them on the server this time, straight away in EMEA, doing some strong work on their home ground. But now it's kind of time to also look into the next one, right? Fracture, where Team Liquid have potentially to show what they've got in store for us. So I'm excited for that one. So make sure you do stay tuned in for that one, because I don't think Team Liquid are going to let them off that quickly.
Zero distraction. Zero doubt. Zero opposition.
gives you wings.
Well, Team Vitality, they gave the Golden Hornets something to cheer for as they closed out this map of Haven against Team Liquid. I'm your host, Yingsu, and I'm back here with Vincent and Lothar. Are you okay? You doing good?
Something stings you really badly. Stings? Yeah, stinks. Like, you know, like odor.
Do you know what? I smell it as well. I smell it as well. Now you mentioned
smell
it. Yeah.
It comes from here.
Do you mean my swoop? It's great.
Vincent, put it away. Put it away. It needs more time. It needs more time.
I'll give it some more time.
Okay, it needs more time.
You're doing good.
But do you know what? We should celebrate. There's one thing we really need to be celebrating about, is that Team Vitality have won a pistol round. They did it! Woo! Okay, give it up to Team Vitality.
Just one though,
but
please.
That's one more than all of Brazil put together. So, you know, we got to give them the props that they've actually managed to do it.
I mean, they looked really pristine, but they also were kind of like given the floor by Liquid. You know, they had every single space on the map when they were doing that. They capitalized on the pistol round as well. They won the bonus round. It's like, it was actually crazy how much space they were given. And in general, in the pre-show, I was saying that Liquid has to find an answer to stop Vitality from doing whatever they're doing, and that didn't happen. So yeah, I mean, it's also very visible in this scoreboard. As you can see, Jamppi topping the scoreboard for Liquid with only 13 to 15 stats.
It's a kind of funny scoreboard, though, if we take a look at it, right? Particularly if we talk about the magic number called ACS. The best player on Vitality, who won 13-6, is up 217. Like, something feels wrong about this being also balanced out and everyone doing their job. But this is something Vitality have really proven for me personally over this entire game, that they have a simplistic, not overcomplicated game plan that still works out well.
You know, it's when you mention the stats, isn't just that it's so flat for Vitality because one, the outcome of the rounds were decided post-plant, right? And the first bloods were actually evenly distributed towards the entire team. Every single player had at least 2, and only 1 player had 3.
Let's talk about some of those executes that we saw. Both of you, you mentioned we know what they do. It's reliable, and it works out. And Lothar, you said Liquid had to stop them. But what is it if we take one particular round, for example, you felt like they needed to stop?
In general, this was just a repeat history on C. When they were just going into C side, it was just free for taking. It is something that you can see here, compilation of just executes on the C side, and Liquid is nowhere near the side. They were just, in the pre-show was saying that Liquid needs to find an answer to stop those explosive pushes done by the breach support towards the jet dashes. And that's something that Liquid didn't even try. And you know what's the best thing? They won 3 rounds, right? And 2 of them were when they either fouled early on C to avoid the execute from happening, right? Or got an early kill to just make sure that there's no execute support possible even. So it was like Liquid didn't take it by the horns and didn't play for the win condition because they banked on playing retakes, which were not really well organized.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, right? Because when we're talking about it, it's like 2/3 of the rounds that Vitality won were purely about spike explosions. So it's that retake that did not simply work out, which can be great, right? This is a strategy teams have shown that it could work. But if you're playing it like that, it's a bit of a yikes for me.
I mean, the 2 players that we highlighted, the 2 players that are probably the least comfortable players on Haven, with the exception of maybe Chronicle, Shados, and Defo in the world, it is Redgar and Nats. So we don't see them play Haven ever. A lot of what you're talking about, Lowstar, the organization just felt like maybe that was on Redgar's shoulders, and Nats didn't get as many timings as we usually see him do. So do you feel like maybe it was a mistake? Is it too early for them to kind of venture into Haven?
It's very hard to judge this by only one Haven when we see it from the Liquid, but it did look disorganized. Like all the retakes were kinda, let's say, mistimed from the different parts. Like we have seen multiple 3-player retakes coming from mid or through long A towards C, and all of those retakes were just kinda not even ready when the one player from the C side was just dead before even the retake was happening. And I guess you can put some of that blame for the IGL to not like putting the discipline, but at the same time, it's only a 1/2, so we can't really say for certain that this was the reason.
I fully agree to a certain extent, but it feels a bit like when we go back in time. And you know who took that risk back in the day in Stage 2 2022? It was that M3C roster. They've done the same thing in the first game. They've tried the same thing in the first game, and they failed the same way in the first game. It just feels like a risky, like, yeah, we can try it, haha, but you know, it doesn't really convince me in being like, why do we not go to more safe places? At the same time, if this is their plan, we have to trust them, but they realize themselves, it doesn't really work.
Well, think about it also this way, that Liquid has almost mirrored comp, right? But on the attack, the Liquid plan was to play slow defaults and not rely on the explosiveness that this composition can essentially focus on.
Well, for Vitality, it was very comfortable. They like playing Haven, and they showed why they're one of the teams that we're sleeping on, really. And here is Destrian and Twisten right now, warming up in the AIM labs, getting ready for the next map as well. Not that they need it, let's be honest. I think both these players are doing incredibly. Twisten, you can get more shorty kills, though. I want to encourage him a little bit more, you know? Whip the shorties out more often.
I saw one round when he dashed onto C-side into a smoke. He had his ultimate ready on the jet, and then he swaps to a shorty.
As he should. Yeah.
There's also a big flaw in aim lab. There's no shorty warm-up.
Oh, I mean, that's how good he is. He doesn't need a shorty warm-up.
Right, fair play. I give you
shorty warm-up, you peek a corner, and there's 3 opponents. Yeah. And you have only 2 bullets.
Yeah, I mean, for Vitality, I feel like we've only seen 2-0 so far. It's day 2, you know, all the games is kind of being playing out this way. Do you feel like this is where Vitality is going to be a heavy favor like they are on Haven, or is it more of an even playing field?
It feels very complicated because let's be honest about that, what we're coming up to. I feel like this, if there would be a series so far that screams like we need to go to a 3rd map, that would be the series.
I mean, from what I remember at least, during lock-in, Liquid, particularly on Fracture, didn't look great, but Nats was actually shining through there, even though a lot of his kills were just exits and with no real impact, right? But then, when you compare it to Vitality, I would say that their Fracture, even though it was played a lot, and with the same composition, by the way, 5 times the last time they played it was with the Neon on MOLSI, I like the idea, but the execution of that composition was very shaky. And also it's very easy to read, right? So, because you rely on those Neon executes with the support, but it's something that, again, Liquid can find an answer to, but will they, as it was on Haven, it wasn't found.
I personally believe this is the big difference that we need to talk, because what you're referring right to has not been played in lock-in, right? This was back in Red Bull Homeground, which was in 2022. So most importantly for me here is that one diversity that we have seen within the side of Vitality is there's one star, and that star is named Twisten for a very particular reason. And putting him purely in that duelist role and let him feel comfortable is exactly what I want to see. I don't want to see him support players. MOLSI is amazing, Lo-Fi. I think we don't really need to argue about that.
Wait, I have a better idea.
Give it to me. What is it?
Double duelist. Dun dun dun.
That does not sound like a sellout type beat. The guy who feels like he's doing
MOLSI Twisten.
No.
Double duelist.
No.
But if you play double duelist, do you feel like Neon would be the pick for the second duelist?
Probably
Because-
not, but
Yeah.
there is a world that's viable, at least, for MOLSI and Twisten.
I wouldn't mind a Jet on Twisten and MOLSI on Raze. We know that he's a capable Raze, and he also feels very comfortable on her. So that's something that would be a possibility. And I'll be honest with you, I personally don't really like Neon compositions, so I'll be very happy to see a change in Vitality's plan here. Also, remember, we still have a Gecko that was not being used. I don't anticipate that Vitality might be throwing it in here, but there is a slight possibility of that.
Yeah, and on the other side, Jamppi was playing Raze at Locking when they played Fracture, and Sayf was on the KO. It might be the same story here with MOLSI and Twisten. Maybe we see a switch over of Sayf on that duelist role instead of Jamppi. We're at the agent select right now as we head into Fracture, where we experience a tiny bit of technical difficulty from our side, but Jamppi is flying Sky, okay.
I remember that.
Sky.
And Sayf is
on
picking up the
Raze.
race. Okay, this is a wonderful change.
And we also have a change on the side of Vitality too.
There's a lot of changes here.
Oh boy.
Fade on MOLSI, Twisten on the Raze. So this is something that we actually spoke in the, you remember our Hot or Not compositions takes?
Yeah,
This is essentially the core of one of the compositions from Fracture. So Breach, Fade and Raze, which combo essentially together because of the possibility of catching people in one position, then getting 3 kills with Painters. But it is something that you rarely get nowadays when people are aware of that. Now on the other hand, we see a composition from Team Liquid that I don't really favor when it comes to synergy. There's not a lot of stuff that works here well in tandem. So it's like very detached. Also, Omen on Fracture has way less agency than Brimstone. Brimstone is fantastic when it comes to area control. The ultimate orb is phenomenal. Sorry, ultimate orb. The orbital strike is phenomenal on this map because it can single-handedly get you A-side control or tower control. And also, very important, Fade can get you the same.
And the thing for me personally is I like the Viper. I think the Viper's a great pick overall. I think it's a not must pick, but definitely useful on this particular map. So the thing though for me is Vitality plays the Fnatic comp. And I think that is one of the most well-rounded comp if you play it according to we need a lot of orbs because we have a lot of great ults, and then we actually execute a little later type of composition, as we've seen from Fnatic, for example. And I think Vitality is capable of pulling that one off.
Well, Team Liquid, they have never played Viper on Fracture in the history of this team, so it's going to be interesting to see how this works out. And it's time to jump into map 2 with your casters, Pavlos and EMEA.
Well, I'm happy that these teams are willing to make changes. Obviously, new season, new patch, adaptation, things that didn't work in the past. Time to try something new, and hopefully it works better.
Yeah, I mean, they've come up with something here.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what they have because they need to be able to bounce back. Team Liquid, well, they did get a little bit of few more rounds on the board towards the end of Haven. Vitality were outmatching them at every single point. They need to come out here strong. But on a map like Fracture, I'm a little bit nervous for them because they weren't showing a lot of early aggression, early fight against Vitality, and that was what was punishing them a lot on their defensive side, where they were only able to pick up 3 rounds. Fracture map historically where you have to be able to fight early and often on the defense in order to sort of get a foothold towards the attacker spawn in order to have a chance in the late round.
What I think is important is that Team Liquid have picked this map, and I think that we need to put some emphasis on that because they should feel comfortable on it. For them to be thinking, okay, we've got a good chance against Vitality, go on this frontier. Obviously, they're playing against a Vitality that they haven't really seen before in this iteration with this particular setup. Let's have a look and see how this one makes up. Stakes, it's the first match of the season. Somewhat high.
We'll see what they can do now. Team Liquid, no breach in the comp. So the discount breach is Redgar's paranoia. That's what he's setting up for outside of Dish. That's where things are going to get kicked off because Sayf is going to be next to him a lot, I think, in these early rounds. And off some information, potentially off the swing, off the boom bot. They would want that paranoia, and instead he's actually just fighting forward.
Quick 2-on-2 fight. Redgar comes out on top. Nice little late peek out of that to end up with a kill.
That's what we wanted to see, though. Early aggression from TL. Show us you have it in the wheelhouse. Show us you can go for it. Vitality quick to respond, potentially with a B hit here as they've crept out, getting up on site, making sure they can clear everything and get a pretty safe plant.
Yeah, Spike will be going down simply. Team Liquid will be a little bit later on their response. There is a flank in the making. Obviously, ceNder is on the way back, but Team Liquid, most of their attempt is towards the B main side. The drop has been illustrated, though.
Redgar heard that, but he still gets stunned by the Breach. Breach is absolutely nuts. ceNder fell, 2 nats.
And actually, BONECOLD is all by himself. He's only down to 20 points of health. Tried to take one down with him, but it's still 2v3. Team Liquid have got the numbers, and they're trying to get on here quickly before spending too much time. They've already wasted quite a bit, but they don't have much health between them. Less than 100 HP between the 3 of them. Destrian might be able to clean them up quickly, but soulcas is able to find some headshots safe as well, and just in the nick of time to get the spike diffused. On top of that, Team Liquid start off their own home ground pick with a bang.
Liquid, we saw a little bit of everything right there. Early aggression dish side, the triple flank outside of A main. Fighting back into spawn as well. I like this from them. At the same time, you still have to be very aware of those breach fault lines. That can be absolutely nasty later into the rounds. But TL get their round win. Yeah. They're going to be able to carry this over.
Bit of nitpicking here. I feel like Vitality were a bit disjointed on that post plant. You know, there were no real disadvantages they had with numbers. So there was no real need for hero plays.
Well, I think the problem with them, they were going for the flank, right? And because they had those 3 players coming down from ramp, they sort of had to push into spawn after their player had fallen, which is just unfortunate. There were 2 players of TL ready to turn around. I do think the idea was there for Vitality. Just ended up getting punished and forced into a very uncomfortable spot.
Now, we've yet to see a second round buy-up with some of these teams. I guess not enough close rounds on the first to make sure they can afford some sort of a significant buy, but already trade per side. Onto the side, Redgar. That TP wasn't exactly where he would have liked it to be, out into the open, and Twisten picks him up quickly. Onto the A side, Vitality goes, and they've got plenty of players still alive.
soulcas here can be so important on the north side flank. And he finds that kill. That's very big in opening this up now. Eyes over towards this raise. Twisten gets 3 on the round.
Still keep on trading equally. That's what they need. Even with lesser weaponry, they still kept it going. MOLSI, again, case in point, keeps his team in contention, and now he's alone up against Sayf. Boombot towards him. Can't feel comfortable. Spike's touch, knows that Sayf is no longer on it. Doesn't go and play against the second touch. It's Sayf that comes out of on top. Without the Bulldog, it's the classic to do it.
Dangerous territory right there for Team Liquid. Sayf will win it through in the end regardless. But man, Vitality gave them a real go of things right there. Twisten finding 3 with the stinger. It was almost enough for them. Down there, he is traded out though, and that was huge, right? The first kill coming through from Sayf. This nade as well, just absolutely perfect to flush Destrian out of the situation.
Let's go!
Even the dance, they're resorting to the classic to finish things off. Even getting a little bit rowdy on stage. You'll love to see it.
Yeah, it's Logitech power round, but there's not much power within Team Liquid's buy this time around. Only 2 rifles, really. We know that sheriffs can do quite a bit, you know, when you've got aimers in that team. Maybe that's what you're looking for. Try and damage up Vitality as much as possible.
Now Vitality, they have no north side control here. Had to abandon that one, and with the turret being broken, that's always going to be a threat for them. Working through potential stall util as well. Twisten's just going to blast his way up into the site.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Twisten gets deleted. Taking off his feet. There's actually an opportunity here for Team Liquid. Destrian. Oh, that's aggressive. And it pays off. Vitality might have been a little bit further back, but now clearly in the driver's seat, full control.
Yeah, slant not a position you want to be playing for exactly that right there. Utility can clear you away so easily. Interestingly enough, Nats, I think, is just going to play for exits here. TL realized they don't really have much in way of trying to retake this site, so all the kills you can gather are going to be huge.
And they're going for it. 1 more kill is all they need. Nats has got to play in the making as well.
No
towards
way.
main.
No way.
Can't connect the shots, Nats.
He's defusing.
And it's defused.
Oh, no.
And they're not stopping it. Team Liquid, 3rd round pickup. And it all comes off of an Omen Ninja defuse.
I seriously don't think TL were trying to win that round, and then all of a sudden, Redgar finds this opening, picks, smokes for himself, TP's onto site. And Nats with the monstrously late lurk. Flanks it out, destroys any possibility of moving Redgar off the spike.
That's got to silence the Vitality fans.
Oh, now you've gone and done it.
I mean, Team Liquid just bounced back like that. 3-0 on the second map.
Now, oh man, trying to get fast up here with the ult. Absolutely sent packing.
Yeah, with a bunch of paint on his face. Quite a way to die. Paint overload, if you will. Destrian trying to push forwards, but there's a triple man hold. It's a wall of players. Redgar going even further in the smoke, no fear. Do not be scared of these EMEA Bees. Horses trot on them one by one, and Team Liquid cleanly take over.
Nothing ceNder can do now. I think it's a good time to sort of talk about the ideas of what this Team Liquid comp is trying to do, because you have a lot of questionable picks compared to like the meta standard comp that Vitality is playing on the opposite side here. One of those being the Omen. Lothar brought up a lot of good points on the desk, talking about how the Brimstone ultimate is so powerful, having 3 smokes for a sight hit, also very strong. The molly in the post, very good too. But one thing Brim can't do, that one way in A main. Sort of a more passive way of fighting for control there, just eliminating you from that angle. Can be very, very strong. And the way TL have sort of played behind these smokes around Redgar too has been very good, sort of shutting out Vitality, trying to play on through those. At the same time, not having a breach can be a bit of a detriment, I think, later on for them. In terms of the long power-up, the long assistance, in terms of the breach ultimate, the concuss every round.
Yeah, BONECOLD feeling it after that one. The power in his voice towards his teammates, motivating them. That first map, put it behind you guys. We can still win this, a reverse sweep still on the cards.
Yeah, so on the other side of things, what can Vitality be doing here? Because they have a couple tools that I think are very strong for them as well, right? The breach, the killjoy especially. I think if ceNder is successful stacking up some orbs in the early round, 4 of them on Fracture, not the hardest thing to do in the world. Yeah. If you are gambling right and not running into the early aggression of Team Liquid, I think you can try to play for that ultimate, because there's no real reliable way for Team Liquid to remove that from the field of play. That ult's super, super powerful. Down in underpass, in A main, I've seen some teams as well try to take more forward control and use it in that area of the map too. And I think the Cypher is something they don't have to worry about so much either. You know, Nats' Cypher's been the pocket pick of his, legendary pick next to his name. But when you have the Raze utility plus Boombot, plus even after the nerfs, the Fade to clear it out with the Prowlers too, it's very hard, I think, to actually find good value from that trip, apart from just using it to guard off that north side. But again, if you commit MOLSI towards that angle early on with the Prowler, you can break that pretty reliably early on in a round and remove some of the sureness of the information from Team Liquid's mind.
What's really cool about what's going on with Team Liquid right now also is Sayf being 7 on kills and 0 on deaths, while he's been a big part of these first early contact plays, you know? Always being part of the play, but never really paying for it with his life. Sayf, though, man of the hour, will be able to find the first kill once again. You know, Twisten, you know, Vitality, yeah, okay, the timeout was probably not for this round in particular. Probably one to precede this, supersede it, perhaps. But some damage is it probably what they're looking for here, really. Team Liquid have got this under control, unless ceNder's able to find something out of that one, but it's all under lock and key here. 5-0 for Team Liquid.
Not going to happen. Vitality need to come up with some ways of challenging through the smokes that Team Liquid are throwing them. Again, running the double smoke comp, you have the Viper wall you have to bust through, the Omen one-ways as well, which you can cycle 3 of those before you run into any sort of cooldown problems on the ability.
Let's go.
But for now, it's Liquid riding all of the momentum. But this is the actual string round. Look at those ultimates in Vitality's hands. You have 4 ultimates that can just fully clear sites. Absolutely nuts for them to work with.
Let's see if Salah's laid up the plan correctly for the boys of Vitality.
So you can see it's actually maybe a north side crunch for Team Liquid. They don't want to sit on site. They cannot play passively in a round like this, so it's trying to catch ceNder alone. He will get it out in time, just barely.
Okay, so they figured it out. No one's on the outside of the map, but they will push towards this A site. Paranoia through.
So what I'm looking at with Redgar right now, he has ultimate, so you have options to try and ult off site and then cancel it, return to your team. He was using the paranoia to stall out early on. ceNder is actually trying to creep back towards the north side, and no matter what happens on this hit from Liquid, there are going to be 4 players ready to fast retake from CT.
That's actually massive. No more Destrian means no more flashes. And there's no Prowler for MOLSI either to help them onto the site. Such a key piece player for Vitality here.
Vitality got lost in the sauce right there. ceNder wanted to go for that second pressure point from the north side, but he had to go very slowly to not make noise. That caused Vitality to slow down in A main. Now they've opened the door. They didn't hear it. No one's in range to hear the door open. They're going to be able to run all the way to B and backstab these 2 players.
There's a potential that Redgar heard it. There is a slight potential he has, and he's looking in that direction.
30 seconds left.
From the shadows. In A main, it's clear. But they have no idea no one's in spawn. Oh, and soulcas loses his life. Now Jamppi turns around, but he's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Has to take the fight. Doubles up. Seekers in hand. Not able to use them before he dies off. 2v3, and there's 2 on the flank of Vitality. 12 seconds, and the spike has to go down.
Team Liquid reacted perfectly in that situation, shutting that down entirely. 3 players now to go on BONECOLD.
Oh.
He has to fight forward.
There may be one behind him, he knows it. Does want to isolate Sayf, but unable to do so. Valiant effort, but Team Liquid on the case.
That round was nuts, Pavlos. What did I just witness? Oh my God.
So much going on.
Vitality slowed down again to try and get that north side player. And what it turned into was a fantastic decision by them. They were able to sneak fully into spawn. I love the timing on the Omen ult from Team Liquid as well to try and clear out A main. But they were only able to find the 1 kill. The second player, Jamppi, being back gen, was completely unexpected. The first kill was good. The second, with util in hand, converted everything to TL.
The funny thing is there was so much going on, but not even all of the ultimates got used, right? It was just 1 per side.
Which is absolutely nuts. Now, ceNder's 1 point off for Vitality. There's still those 3 big ultimates ready to work with.
And Vitality round away from economical recession. Look at Team Liquid pushing aggressive onto the B side now. Flash perfect, but everybody's looking towards them. There's so much fighting going on, but who comes out on top? It's got to be Vitality. Twisten looking to move forwards with a showstopper, but there's no one there. They've already killed the players of the B site, and they now get the spike down.
Redgar and Nats both coming out from CT.
Bring them down.
And with an alarm bot in Arcade, very hard to sneak past this utility.
This is the best situation Vitality has found themselves in Fractured so far. They've got to close out this round. Nats, plenty of money in the bag. He's going to try and go for this. But not successful in it. Vitality, first round of this map is theirs.
Great response there from Vitality. Again, they were expecting early action, I do believe, after the previous round, knowing that if Team Liquid play slow, those ults will destroy them on site. And that dodge, oh my God, Destrian getting out of dodge from that Sky Flash saved the round, because if he gets hit by that, I think he was the only player that successfully dodged that initial flash. It would have been lights out. That's 4 players instantly hitting the dirt.
Remember the timeout they took a couple of rounds ago?
Yeah.
Probably laying a play like that. I mean, it didn't really come down.
That was reaction.
That was reaction.
Pure reaction.
That was pure reaction.
Out of Destrian on that.
That really is.
Now that flash is the normal play, right? Sending it out early, you know someone's playing here. No orb involved, but you'd love to be able to get ceNder in a position to get ults. Now the problem is how Vitality has been playing. 4 ults for ceNder is he's been solo north side the majority of rounds. So he's not been farming those up. He's only getting those through kills through deaths.
Team Liquid have actually pushed up far, and I don't think Vitality have got any utility here to try and hold this out or even have an idea that this is happening. Twisten turns around. Oh, but he doesn't. Not in time! And Sayf takes full advantage of it. Team Liquid on the front foot. BONECOLD trying to survive, but he cannot do so against the king himself, Sayf. Wants the ace, but soulcas denies it, but still, that's a beautiful win. And Team Liquid on 7.
Team Liquid with these pushes have been super, super effective. And I think exposing Vitality just a little bit here. Again, they've been playing 1-4, but grouping up all 4 players together, very wary of the quick aggression from the defensive side. You see a team like Fnatic perhaps that would play this, or teams with the Fade. A lot of times you'll see that Fade player solo over towards A main, send the Prowler in early to scout out for any forward steps. That's something they have not done. Again, those 4 players always together holding hand.
So Vitality's fight keeps on going, man, but it's always uncomfortable. The ultimates.
How long has Destrian had this ult? 3-4 rounds now?
Oh, ceNder might not be able to use this either. Nats putting him to his early grave. pushing onto the site. Camo, very important. It's not even taken down yet. They know exactly what's going on the site.
Now, here's the problem. One player CT, one up by Dish, and two players now coming into A main.
This is going to become very claustrophobic for Vitality very quickly, which means they need to force.
Look at the setup. That's perfect.
Guiding light, soulcas on the first contact, Sayf. Showstopper as well. Together with the paint shells. That was an explosive display of skill.
Team Liquid are awake. On Fracture. The game plan impenetrable. And the work in tandem there between Jamppi and Sayf into A main. Nothing could have stopped that man.
Sayf, a true all-rounder, playing every single role last year in Guild, but now feels truly at home on this raise.
Shocking performance. 19 kills to 1 death.
What?
Are you freaking kidding me, man?
The second fragger of the team has got 11 less kills than he does. If I did the maths right. I'm kind of casting for a reason and not a mathematician.
He's the only guy playing. He's the only one that matters. The rest of TL doing such a good job to set him up. Finally, ceNder has the ultimate, and you know TL want to fight forward off that using the paint shells to try and zone away from back, but oh my word, what is that? ceNder's pushing through it!
He's going through it because he just doesn't care. Somehow still alive, it catches everyone off guard, the lockdown works onto Jamppi. So many detained! And Vitality takes charge of it. Team Liquid overzealous, over ego, and they pay for it.
Oh my god. Vitality down 7 rounds, but still coming up with something like that. That's the power of the Killjoy, that's the power of the Brimstone, the Brim ult to punish the aggression to try and cancel out the lockdown. And then I love ceNder just fearlessly running through the fire and the flames of his own Brimstone, knowing he takes so much reduced damage off of that to catch the players fully detained. I think Twisten was coming double satcheling in off of it as well. Just a gorgeous play, a gorgeous round from Vitality and Twisten.
Yeah, you're probably thinking right now, oh, we shouldn't have stayed that long. Nothing you can do now. It's got to reset for the next. Vitality, though, they take that in their stride. Doesn't matter if it came that easy, it came nevertheless, and they got it flawlessly.
They absolutely did. Big difference between these two comps, the explosive ults. Vitality have 4. Vitality have 5, really. TL, 1. So when those ults come online, they have to be used, and that's why it's been a little bit lackluster so far. Twisten, 1 point away from having his. Can he find an opening frag? No, it's Sayf, and Nat's on the opposite side, ruining Twisten and ceNder.
Still, though, Vitality are entering into the lion's den here of Team Liquid. Still a lot of presence here for the defenders. And yeah, Vitality have to second guess themselves if they enter. All right, the chances of Vitality here are slim, very slim. They're already on the back foot and they haven't gained space. They need a pick, but it's a matter of Team Liquid if they give them that pick.
Unironically, first order of business here, get MOLSI another ult orb.
Yeah.
Get that online for the final round. They're down in numbers, making things incredibly challenging. I would honestly, I actually think Destrian should drop Spike to MOLSI here. In the event that they do get on the site for a plant, they already took a main orb. In the event they can do it, it would be so big for the 12th round.
They've got to buy nonetheless next round, so they're going to go for this. Can't fully set up for next round only. They've got to put their eyes on this one.
Sayf still has paint shells, though. All the stall util is absolutely here. And 2 players from Dish with no backside pressure, you can't get in.
And the info is there. Rotations come through from Team Liquid. Reinforcements arrive. Fault line finally available.
Look at Redgar.
One on an elevated
spot.
angle. Finally dealt with, but the rest spray upon them. Whether that's through a smoke or they've got a clear eyesight on them, they are dead nonetheless, and Team Liquid on 9.
Nothing will be saved up. Use it.
Almost the perfect reversal of fates from game 1.
Almost.
And what's the idea going to be here from Vitality? Because I believe you can see those ults again. I'm pretty sure ceNder is just 2 off.
By the way, Sayf just hit the 20 bomb.
Yeah, but he died twice.
Oh.
He slashed the KD in half.
He slashed it.
Yeah, what's he doing? For Northside, this is a unique look for Vitality. ceNder down bot side. It's Destrian that's 2 off. MOLSI just 1. We'll see what they can accomplish here. Talked about this yesterday, but the awkward situation Twisten finds himself in is he has ultimate, but he also wants to be the person taking first contact, playing off his teammate's utility. Destrian takes north side orb. They're going to move down bot side. Look at this, the switcheroo.
Yeah,
ceNder goes top side, and they're going to want to get Destrian that final orb.
The alarm bot is no longer available,
Oh,
so they're
no.
able to push past it, and Vitality have got no idea this is happening.
Will Vitality actually give up on the play? Maybe they don't. They're still going back down north side, and the dog may have actually spotted the breach.
The alarm bot isn't enabled, the turret isn't enabled, and they're able to catch Destrian off guard completely. Oopsie. ceNder moved away too quickly.
And now no breach to set up this raise. Twisten, what can you give us?
Nothing. The answer is nothing. Paintrol's perhaps on tower, there's one there, but
Nats.
Nats holding the line of main. No one pressured him in that direction. No one has touched him. Double digits for Team Liquid at halftime. Best thing what Vitality did on map number 1.
Turns out Team Liquid can play Valorant. Oh my god. That was crazy. Sayf with 20. I mean, just the continual aggressive defensive plays. Making Vitality look completely out of sorts. Vitality never had a good answer to scouting out all the different ways in which Team Liquid were able to manipulate the map and work into spawn.
Aww.
Gotta love that.
Awesome. How wholesome.
A little smooch.
Yeah, the stingers of Vitality this time around not stinging. I mean, it's a change of pace we wanted from Team Liquid, to be fair. We wanted this to be a competitive series. Yeah. Obviously, Vitality, you know, they've got their first map. They've got a little bit of a buffer. Even if they do end up losing this map, they will have a third one to fall into. But still, you want them to be a little bit more competitive in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think that going over to defense, they're obviously going to be able to switch up how they play almost entirely, so we'll give them some kind of a chance. That being said, Team Liquid, what a glow-up from the first map. Not just like they won rounds, right, obviously,
yes.
But the fact was, one of the biggest problems... No, they took so long on Haven to figure out how they could play forward and fight actually for space. They're playing very loose over towards A lobby, over towards C long. Until they got an operator in hand, that was the only time they actually really changed things up. This time, from the get-go, from round number 1, they were playing aggro, reacting very well on the fly to whatever it was Vitality were throwing them. Because it wasn't like Vitality were doing nothing, right? They had these creative spawn pushes, reacting to the flanks, trying to work very deep up against Team Liquid, but Team Liquid always had the answer.
And I think there's a bit of a contrast between map 1 and map 2. I feel for this one, Team Liquid, we've at least seen more set plays from them rather than we saw in the previous. Whether that's because they've had them prepped or haven't, or had a lack of it on the previous one, that is a different question. Or whether that was Vitality just landsliding that early.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just came down to like solving what Vitality were trying to do, and it was just a little bit late to see what they could actually end up doing. Now, for Vitality, a lot of the problem just came down to like what the scouting was actually happening early in the rounds. They couldn't really figure out exactly what Team Liquid were trying to do. That obviously not as much of a concern moving over to defense, but we're going to need to see similar aggressive defensive setups. You almost always assume. Now, this is a much more standard composition: the breach, the raise, the fade. So many great tools to try and work forward aggressively. So every single round, what you're gonna do, if you're watching Fracture, you look and see where's Raze, where's Breach. That's where the action is gonna be. For Vitality, they're choosing the A site right off the rip, A main in particular.
Hey, look, we've seen wonders happen before. There's been EMEA teams that have been able to perform it, so.
Now check out the setup from Team Liquid. This is what I was talking about, having some scouting util in A lobby, right? They have 4 players south side, but they use a flash, right? That'll tell them if someone's there. Now, no one's there, no one's up close. Jamppi's still waiting over there, potentially to use a dog later on as they just test the water with some opening picks. But this is a much more conventional way, I think, to play the attacking side, a much more safe way to play it as well, to not allow the early aggressive options from Vitality.
Go get him.
It is a fairly standard hold from the defensive side, obviously looking at a pistol. That's isolated, late lurk potential.
That poor Boombot. Not having the timer on it anymore. That actually, I believe in the past, would have cleared out Jamppi.
Trailblazer, we'll find some info, no stun. MOLSI close by. They hear the door opening, so whether MOLSI does push through it, it is definitely telegraphed. He's got reinforcements on an upper level.
Ooh, Nats here, up by Dish. That's going to be a good timing. Doesn't quite find the kill.
Does make the defensive Vitality a little bit uncomfortable, and it makes them stick around. There was a potential where Team Liquid would have rotated over, but no, they stick to their guns.
Wow, Vitality
they
actually,
baited out.
They're expecting the rotate to come through, but TL don't want to move into the Killjoy. Not one bit. Twisten could bust things wide open.
Nats is holding it, but it didn't quite find the headshot. And now Twisten, with that drop control, Team Liquid find the site, but they have to deal with this one quick. They're down in players, down in health.
So Sayf, he pushes spawn. Huge.
Successful in finding one. Right, BONECOLD for the smoke, though. Not going to make it easy. Still, Redgar retaliating. We're looking at Team Liquid looking uncomfortable.
They're still going.
They're on the site, but that even will get pressure. Twisten about to get onto the backside of Jamppi. And there's so much Jamppi's got to do with not much help to work with. That's the first head, but he needs to look behind him in time. And I don't think he will.
What?
Oh, he does! And now there's a chance. ceNder. Oh, my goodness! Jamppi, you just didn't do that!
Jamppi can do no wrong. Bolts out of his seat after winning out the clutch. Hand to ear, could not hear the Vitality fans in the arena.
I want to see this one again. Turn around. But the moment you think he's not going to look around, the timing gods were with him. But he took the opportunity and hit his shots crisp. 2 bullets, 2 kills. On a 1-on-3 clutch, by the way. 30 HP, was it?
It was nothing. Absurd that he gets the job done. Now Vitality forced to buy up into this one. A judge no armor even on ceNder, just playing up towards heaven.
Shadows traveling.
Even BONECOLD only has the 2 smokes to try and stall out. So anything TL could do in terms of early sound to bait those out from him could be strong. Actually, with this wall, they may just try to contact up. They're going to bring it down for the time being. Maybe on the next rotation, they could try to punch that one.
Sayf. Contact. 55 seconds. They've drawn this out quite far.
Here
So much forcing going around.
They're going to try to move 2 players up towards north side to get a split. Actually, they're making noise running underpass. That's very surprising to me. Not worried at all that anyone's going to hear. ceNder has repositioned over towards slant, so not going to be in any trouble with this tower push. But if they loop through tower, he's got nowhere to go but forward.
Bit of a mind game, isn't it? Are they really committing to this? Are they faking? Do we rotate? Do we stick? Seems they will be sticking. They're rotating over. ceNder with 1. Redgar quickly to punch back. BONECOLD behind the smoke, has to be very clear with his intentions.
Ridiculous. ceNder gets 1 there.
Oh, Nats was ready for it. The man can see the future. Oh, and soulcas. Oh, they've got everything under lock and key. They know exactly what's going on. The calls, the foresight, and MOLSI looking from the outside as if this is a fishbowl and he can just only be a watcher while Team Liquid get this done real quickly. 12-2 with a 10-round difference.
The energy in here is just absolutely nuts. In 2 one-sided affairs as well. The battle between the fans has been tight throughout. Something tells me it'll be decided on Lotus, though. That's something being the 10-round lead that TL have, but you can pretend I'm a genius for saying that. No, not going to give it to me? Okay.
No, I'm just going to let you try out there. Ooh! Sayf has been crisp all this map, and he just doesn't want to stop.
Yeah, well, you know, he'd only gotten 1 kill on the attack so far, so
fair.
Kind of important that he's able to get that KD up, because this is going to be a fast game. He's not going to have the chance maybe to even go for 30. Holding now for Twisten. 3 players Vitality try to fight on through. Nothing's working, though.
Yeah, Team Liquid just get their picks, fall back, even though they've got, I mean, not even fall back, just move onto a site, get the spike down, and Team Liquid being Team Liquid, you know you've got Redgar calling onto them. Hold back, guys. The game isn't over. Let's not be overzealous here. Let's just close this one out. Why overcomplicate things? Speaking of that, Nats, his former teammate and current teammate, does end up going a bit too aggro, losing his life, but Redgar, see a stoppage to that. And soulcas and Sayf put their guns and bulldogs together to try close it out, and they're successful. 13-2, Team Liquid. What a response after that first map. Who would have thought it would have been this decisive?
Redgar sharing a moment there as well. They know they just killed Vitality. That was not even remotely close. I'll give that one back to you.
Yeah.
Nice,
All
nice,
right.
nice.
I try to help you out with that one because it was, you know,
We
BONECOLD has
needed the
got some
assist.
strength to him, so
Yeah.
I needed to assist you.
How
there.
about
But
Sayf
holy-
though, man?
Yeah.
Oh my, I think finishes with 22, 23 kills, but 20 and 2 at the half. A phenomenal individual performance. Team Liquid as a whole just understood how to play that map of Fracture 2. Phenomenal play, but it comes down to a third and final. We're headed to Lotus right after this.
Good job! Let's go! I'm farming you, Twisten! I'm farming you! Nice, boys! Let's go! Let's go!
Zero distraction. Zero doubt. Zero opposition.
Red Bull gives you wings.
What a response from Team Liquid. I bet you guys at home didn't expect that one after what happened on map 1. I'm your host, Yingsu, and I'm here with Zesht and Lothar. I don't think any of us expected it. And soup tastes good now, yeah?
It's cooking up soon.
It's cooking now, it's cooking now. But yeah, what a map. It was just a complete domination.
I mean, they could have had it. You know, they could have had at least the momentum broken down, if we particularly consider that wonderful round number 3. But overall, my goodness, this was a totally different Liquid as they tried something, they dared something, they were risky about things, and you know what? They pushed a few regions as a defender. And I enjoyed to watch that they have said, you know what? We can't always sweep back and spawn, we can't always play retake, we have to deny that.
It's funny that you speak about those rounds because those are the only 2 rounds that they lost on defense where they were aggressive on long B. But in general, this is the Liquid that I expected when they signed those players. Like, I expected this fundamental level of play because in the pre-map, I was complaining about the fact that the composition doesn't have like visible synergy between the agents, but it doesn't matter if the composition has the synergy or not, if the players are on the same page. We have seen a lot of double, triple peaks, playing of the flashes from different positions, and it was like always was very well organized and synchronized. So it looked orchestrated, and that's how I expect a top tier team to play.
I mean, Sayf, we're going to get onto him in a second, but honestly, the audacity of him to die 4 times as well, what was he thinking?
I'm shocked, you know, but you know what I'm also shocked about? After just 9 rounds played, Sayf had more kills than Twisten over the course of the entirety of Haven. This man was feeling it today. Overall, though, I would say sure, it was a very top-heavy kind of game, but didn't feel like any of the players of Liquid was like, you know, that's a yikes, that played really bad. That was not the feeling at all. I mean, with a 32, you can hardly mess it up, to be very frank, but it felt like a totally different Liquid, like a more confident Liquid, like exactly the kind of Liquid that I expected from day 1 on.
Fun stats.
Please.
Sayf has less deaths than first kills. He has
Sayf
5
has
first
less
kills
oh, wow, okay.
and only 4 deaths. So he was in 6 opening duels, but overall has only 4 deaths. Like, it's kind of crazy when you think about it.
I mean, let's take a look at those rounds. I feel like when I asked production to build us a Sayf highlight package, Kakuka was like, well, don't you just mean every round? That would literally just be every single round, which it might end up just being. But this man was feeling it.
Round
Last
2.
time we saw them play on Fracture, it was Jamppi on the Raze. So this was a good decision to move Sayf over to it.
We still had a very, very important round from Jamppi overall, winning that 1v3. But in general, Sayf was going absolutely nuts, and I loved how they worked as a team and like enabled Sayf as well. Many of the kills that he's getting were just being possible because of the support from the Sky, because of the support from the other agents. We have seen actually a lot of paint shows and snakebite combos, which is pretty good. But like this situation over here, you can see like how it's like being orchestrated. This flash going through rope, through the doors, like, and that enables Sayf to get that multi-kill.
And there you have
he
it.
was giving it as well. I mean, you
Look
don't want to be on the receiving end of Sayf giving it, but this is a heat map of all of Sayf's kills on Fracture.
Particularly, I think the main part is interesting because you just mentioned about all the flashes and that, but this is also where we gotta say it. He perfectly built that with soulcas, right? Coming in with the snakebite, making the players vulnerable. This is where the grenade particularly hits so well. They cannot escape. And this is where he basically built a perfect death trap over there on A main, where it's like, you want to face us? You want to take that room against us? Not with us.
You know, talking about A main, because we have seen the standard one way from Omen being put there on the defense, right? But what we didn't see is any kind of counterplay from Vitality in the same area.
Yeah.
They were just literally blocked, waiting 30 seconds for the 2 one-way Omens to dissipate instead of just smoking under it to just essentially prolong the path, right? So to counter that one way. And that's something that in general, didn't see from Vitality. They were kind of like helpless, they didn't try to find solutions, they didn't do problem solving.
But this is one of the crucial differences between having Omen and having Brimstone. Because with Brimstone, it's like, I have to use that smoke, and I'll never get it back.
But he still has 2
No, I'm with you, but I'm just saying, this is where people are like, I can use it early because it comes back super soon in like 30 seconds, right? This is like the difference in it. And that's where I also personally dislike Brimstone a slight bit more because he is just more stiff in that regard.
Yeah, true. But I would like to also, when it comes to stiffness, would like to talk about the flexibility.
Yeah.
The flexibility wanted to bring out the Viper Omen composition that we have seen on the opposition side, so on Team Liquid. Like on attack, we only seen 2 rounds essentially, right? But there was a basic wall going through B, and then the smoke coming from the Omen on the left side of DICE was essentially enabling a first blood happening on DICE, and it was really well done. And I'm I'm happy that we didn't see more attacking rounds because I would like to do like a compilation of what was happening with double smoke setup.
I'm also unhappy because I wanted to see more stuff from Dom. We saw a smoke that he was putting down above sand as well when they were running in. I wanted to see more Viper stuff, more Viper tech, but this is good for them because they can save all of that for their next opponent. I feel like when you get a stomp like this, it doesn't really count as proper footage. So the next
That was the previous match.
Yeah, literally the previous match. But speaking of that, Vitality, they had a chance to maybe just close it out 2-0 against Team Liquid. What is happening with them here? Is this concerning at all? It feels like the mental game was just gone.
I mean, it felt a bit like one of those when our team's just totally shutting down. Losing the most simple fights, not realizing that the lurk is possible. All those things are so odd because it is a top-level team that suddenly forgets basics. That simply forgets basics.
There were some rounds when I was like really guessing what is happening because we have seen Killjoy playing north side, not guarding south side, and then suddenly everyone was surprised that someone is behind them. Or the utility from Killjoy was on south side, but the Killjoy somehow was ending up on arcade, so that everything was turned off, and the breach had to go through underpass to check for the flank, and then he gets killed. So there was a lot of visible issues coming in from Vitality's fracture, and I'm not a fan of this. That's such a blowout, It's like.
Well, Sayf, he is in his element, when he's standing up and giving it and trash talking. That's when you know that he's really, really confident and feeling it. And he does seem like the type of player that once he hits that momentum, he's just going to ride it out. I think Vitality, I would like to see a little bit more energy from them here. Their fans are really behind them. Even when they were down, they were still singing. They're still cheering for them. And as we go into map 3, where Liquid, there is no footage, and we've seen some stuff from Vitality, of course, Vincent, from the Hot or Not in the pre-show. Would you like to see them bring out that comp they played against Global Esports again?
I mean, it worked very great on their attack side. You have to give them that. At the same time, I'm just simply not a fan of single controller, which is then particularly horrible. Yes, I mean, his Cascade is wonderful for taking control over on A side, for example. It's amazing, right? That wall that just goes so deep, and a nice any operator doing its job, just one of the examples. But at the same time, I feel like it needs a little more. And, you had a bit of time to swap things up. I mean, they were eliminated fairly early, to be frank. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we see a good change, a compositional change over on that map.
Yeah, probably if we will see a change, is maybe just adding another controller as a main controller, and then Harbor will be the supplement to that. At the same time, I'm just happy to see that Vitality was playing the breach on this map, because they had, when they were playing against Global Esports, it was apparent that the battle for A was like scripted in the way that they play, Something that, for example, when we just take today's match that we have seen Lotus previously from Food Esports, on defense, they were not fighting for A main control because they didn't have the tools for that, right? And now this is also going to be a very interesting question of how conceptually both teams will be playing this game, just because we don't know what Liquid will choose.
But that's also a thing we saw with Navi, for example. They were not that interested in A control. They were sometimes interested, but not that overly eager to do that. And I think that's a kind of change in the meta maybe as well.
Yeah, what's funny is that Navi was actually having, on the hit maps, they were essentially almost every time on the rubble, on the wall,
exactly,
like TPing there, And that's not something that every team is doing, but the teams that do favor playing for A control have that possibility. So
I also love on stage, I think it's either MOLSI or BONECOLD who had like 4 different cups of drinks. I want to know how 4 different drinks? What are they drinking on there?
And maybe it's
Is
just...
it BONECOLD? Oh no, I think someone...
MOLSI has 3.
There's 3 for ceNder.
3.
Yeah, what are they drinking? I'm gonna need to ask maybe in the post-plant game.
Has to be Red Bull.
3 different flavors, I reckon.
Why not?
Yeah. Three separate flavors. It does seem like the issue that we are having is currently being resolved, and we're gonna get Agent Select soon. But if you're Vitality, after map 1, you don't want to get reverse swept in this kind of fashion. You have that 2-0 in your hands, and if they were to lose this map as well, I think it's going to be a difficult kind of mentality for them to get out of for the next game.
If we speak about mental challenges, like in this kind of match, when you just got slapped around on map 2, I feel like you just completely erase it from memory and treat this match as a now best of 1. Yeah. This is the fresh map, win or lose, you forget what happened back there. Like, just 2 words, like fix the issues that you had, like quickly, but completely forget that it existed, because some games like that will just happen and the team just fell flat, right? But now it's about the mental reset for the best of 1.
I mean, for Liquid at the same time, they were touted as one of the EU super teams. We didn't really see that in Brazil, but if they carry on playing like this, I think they're finally living up to that title.
Well, we didn't see it on map 1 as well.
Yeah.
Like, it was very, very lackluster, and it is completely different team on Fracture playing as a team, as a unit, you know, as the 5 fingers of one hand, something that we barely have seen on the previous iterations of previous maps.
You know, one thing is great, I think, from the Vitality piece that we saw earlier, bringing it back to them real quick, is that, you know, Twisten himself said, BONECOLD is tilt-proof, ice cold, as finished as he is, and that could be a big benefit.
I mean, that guy's a world champion, and I feel like he didn't get there by being someone that's going to be easily tilted. We are heading into Agent Select now for Lotus. Liquid have never played this map, so interested to see what they're going to do, and if Vitality are going to stick with that comp we saw them last time. And this is different already.
That's already a change, yeah.
Safe on the Neon.
MOLSI on Fade, so this is the same. BONECOLD on Breach. So the change is so far the Sentinel for Vitality. Okay, so it's only the Sentinel's change.
Yeah, exactly.
From Killjoy to Sayf. And on Liquid side, we have Sayf on Neon, Jamppi on the Sky. So the reason why you choose Sky for Neon is because the bird matches the speed of Neon, so they can be easily synchronized. And then, of course, we have Redgar on Omen because of the possibility of the one-way early control, and Nat as the supplementary Sentinel/Smoker. So this is actually really well tailored together. I like this one.
What about the Harbor, though?
Yeah, I think, again, I'm not a big fan of single control or Harbor. It just feels like slightly incomplete. Doesn't mean that it doesn't work, particularly with Vitality starting on attack. It's not that much about that denial. I mean, the Cascade does a great job, for example, on that A side mentioned before. So it's possible, considering that Vitality loves to start on attack. They really thrive when they're starting on attack. It could be a great momentum shift that they can carry in their second half. But first of all, they need to prove to me that they're capable of bringing that one home, because the first half is always so detrimental, particularly considering when they start on attack.
I mean, the problem is the Vitality composition is based on like a one hit, right?
Absolutely.
Or you play the long game in default way to raise the value exponentially from the Harbor's utility, which is so great when it comes to playing on the cooldowns. But the problem is, as you mentioned before, it's only one controller. So it's very apparent when you're trying to play the slow game and your opponents can just, as we have seen in the past, very patiently wait on the line, on their lanes, and that's about it, right? So you will see this is going to be a very interesting map. So far, every single team that had played Lotus had a different idea on which lane to like put the main focus on, like Navi on B, but then they changed. We have Futu on C as well. So I'm really curious to see what is going to happen from those two teams.
Vincent, you gave me a really fun stat during the break. I think it might be applicable here if you want to whip it out.
Yeah, you know, Vitality is not particularly good when they're losing the first 3 rounds in a row. It's just the maps that they usually then lose when we consider lock-in only, of course. I mean, we can't go that far back with Vitality. So it is a bit of a shocker to me that Vitality really is that momentum-based, and particularly there's one challenge they're really good at: win a pistol. Impossible.
So that's typical round behavior. Lose 3-0 and that's it.
Well, let's see if they are going to win that pistol. We also have a Harbor in play here in EMEA. Pavlos and Ender, what do you make of that?
I reckon it's going to be quite a good one. Thank you for waiting, everybody. We know it's been a little bit of time, but there's a good reason for that.
Yeah, so the issue was basically the in-game HUD. We were having issues making that actually work out, so the decision was made to delay the game by just a couple of minutes so that we could resolve those issues and have the full HUD for the in-game experience. That means we get to see all the utility, all the guns purchased, literally everything, which is a much better game to actually watch. We're going to be jumping into that in just a moment here. But I think overall, in terms of the comps, I'm really excited to see the Neon in particular in the hands of Sayf, who just absolutely ran over Vitality a moment ago.
This game has got to be a strong one. The first map, strongly in favor of Vitality. The second one, Team Liquid took that one quickly. Now we need the third one for both of these teams to show up at the same time to make sure this is the best possible third map and decider of this first series for these two teams.
Yeah, give me a close one. That's what everyone is wanting here in Berlin. We can have have these teams come in at full force. We know the Golden Hornets have been standing up the entire time. I still don't think anyone sat down. Has anyone sat down? Oh, got 3 people sitting down. Okay, okay, guys.
Slouching a bit, guys.
Look, by the time we actually get into game, you know, all the way up on top of their feet, it's going to be great. The Liquid fans also out in force here today. Now, in terms of like actually dissecting these comps just a little bit, the one big change I think for Vitality from Lock-In was in Lock-In they were playing the Killjoy, and today they're playing the Cypher. And I think actually one of the reasons to play the Neon on the opposite side is it can blitz past all that Killjoy utility. On the other hand, the Cypher Tripwires slaughter Neon. Does not give her a fun time at all. So that may be a bit of a problem when it comes to actually executing into these side hits for them.
Indeed, and I kind of want to unravel the fact that both of these teams weren't able to deliver on their opponents' map picks. Maybe, possibly, to not being able to figure out their opponents as quickly as they would have liked.
Yeah, I think the main thing when I look at it, starting on Haven, the weakness of Team Liquid was not identifying the strengths and the 2 main plays that Vitality were going for. So if we get off
Where did he go?
Oh, come back! Come back!
He's melted.
Oh, he's okay, he's okay.
Oh, everyone, it's all right. Okay.
Everyone, let out a sigh. It's going to be okay. We got the cute plushies here too for Sayf.
Oh, okay.
No, that's Sayf's name. Maybe they have the same name. They're like twins.
Sayf Jr.
Yeah, Sayf Jr. Sayf Senior. We really don't know.
Could be. It's Sayf
the third.
Sayf the third.
It's really unclear. But yeah, in terms of things, I think Team Liquid were slow to adapt on Haven, and that was their main issue. So if we run into a world where the start of the first half starts looking bad for Liquid, we need to see them identify key issues early on. On the opposite side for Vitality, I just think they lacked the early scouting to find a lot of the fractured defensive pushes from Team Liquid. That was a bit of a hole in their game plan. Now, Lotus, probably the least practiced map for a lot of the teams coming in here. They'll have a lot of recent history on it, but they don't have that same long-term familiarity with it. It's going to be a big challenge here on the opening day for these two teams.
Definitely pressure mounting on. And yeah, this is a decider. Starting off the season strong, that's what they're looking for. These two teams debut in Europe.
We are going to be jumping into game right now. It all comes down to this on day 2. The EMEA VCT TL versus Vitality all tied up.
Team Liquid starting off on defense, Vitality on attack. Zesh mentioned it on this. This is where Harbor stands alive. Cascade very useful on that early A main entrance, as well as trying to close those close quarter distances on each of these entries.
100%.
Nearly choked there.
You're alive though. We're all good. Our teams. I like using the Cypher for the early... Oh no, Redgar down to 5 HP. Now there's 2 players inside tree, but Vitality might not even mess with that. Again, the team that controls A main will want to break that baby door and blitz into the split B hit.
It's going to be an entry, but I don't think they only want that. They want to go even further. And this is the case in point of the Cascade. Able to close up these gaps, push a little bit more further. Just gives them a little bit more room to work with, somewhere to hold off the spike in the post plant.
B-site is so hard to hold in the post plant because there's 4 different ways to actually get into the site, so it's very important on attack. You maintain a forward position, and going into spawn for BONECOLD to find a kill, that's perfect. Now they can loop around towards baby door.
You say there's 4 entries, they've got control of 3 of them. Now, ceNder pushing even further. Everyone winning their fights, that's what Vitality need. Fairly absent from the second map on Fracture, but here, they start swinging things off well. Nats alone. Time ticking up against them. Trying to move forward, but of course MOLSI will be taken down. That's all he wrote. Oh, are we going to see a Katana knife kill? Now we will! First knife kill of VCT EMEA 2023, I believe.
I believe so. It's Twisten to claim that, the Katana straight into the back. And all in all, loving what we saw from Vitality in this. Strong understanding of how to play that B post plant.
Sneaky, sneaky. There you go.
That hurts.
Because you're not only playing the opponent in regards to the map, you're outplaying them in the mental aspect as well. You know?
Twisten was just dancing around him. That was absolutely brutal. So, what's the fire back from Team Liquid? Because again, we saw that round on the pistol. It was not an aggressive fight over A main.
But this is aggressive from Team Liquid. Sayf finds one as he drops, but missed fight from Team Liquid in mid just puts Vitality even further ahead.
It's a tough life, that's for sure. But I think in the future we're going to see TL play a little bit more aggressively over towards Rubble. Again, because they're the comp with the double smokes. With Omen in particular, you can throw that one way, try and maintain some semblance of control. Now, less power in terms of like the breach concuss that you have on the opposite side comp, but so many flashes to work with. They can definitely try to fight with.
A lot of presence for Team Liquid here, too. In fact, Jamppi with Trailblazer holds him back even further. BONECOLD concuss, that's the moment to swing. Jamppi takes fully charge of it, soulcas. Losing his life means that Jamppi is alone, and there's a long time until his teammates come by. Even if his opponents are flashed, they're able to spray through with a better weaponry, and they take care of the site, but they take a lot of time in doing so, allowing for the flank to take place.
The sense there from Jamppi was fantastic, knowing when to swing for the first kill.
30 seconds
playing
left.
off his utility for 2 more.
There's no way where they think Redgar is here already, right? Ooh, the plot.
Well, they have a camera.
There. The camera's there. Sure.
It's literally 1984. Big Cypher's watching you. Going for the lurk timing.
Big bro cam.
Actually, that's the craziest thing. You know the intro we have for VCT here? It's just this pillar with like 80 different Cypher cameras. There's nowhere to hide. You're always being watched. And with our eyes on Jamppi here, he played fantastically.
Always watching you, Matt Kozolski. Always watching.
I'm going to be honest, Monster King terrified me as a kid, so I steered clear from that.
Oh, I love that movie.
That door literally ruined, or that movie ruined doors for me for my entire life. Can you imagine being a child, a door is closed, and you could just be teleported to a different reality with monsters behind it? That's awful. Why would you do that to a child?
But they were cute and cuddly monsters. Anyway, back to the game.
With 3 eyes.
Team Liquid, what a setup here on B, right? 3 players, they're just defending it with numbers, with weaponry.
Maybe a world where we want to open the door, but no setup over towards C for Vitality. Does make this a little bit awkward. They are opening the door, but maybe to allow those 2 players near A Rubble.
That's quite a lot of info. With a Trailblazer, they gain so much. Guiding Light to assist with a push. Jamppi triples up. He can only fall to the paint shells. And Team Liquid, as soon as they got guns on the board, they're in it.
Now we are aware it is not 0-0, guys.
No,
there are some API issues. Again, before the game we were talking, there's some issues going on globally when it comes to the API. So we're trying to resolve that as quickly as we possibly can.
2-1, in fact. Well, it will be 2-1.
It will be 2-1 in just a moment here.
30 seconds
Vitality
left.
in the lead.
But that was a strong round. I mean, the way they were able to adapt to that play in mid, you know, obviously, you've got 3 players in B already, so you're trying to make a move out of B main. That's definitely the game plan that they had on that defense. And it all came off with that Trailblazer. They spotted it. Of course, with the door opening, Nats decided, I'm not going to play too aggro here. I'm going to just lay off.
Okay.
And they just walk in with a Guiding Light, take over. Jamppi connects all of his shots, only dies to the paint shells, and the rest was history.
That it was. Now, Vitality, we saw them play, and hey, it looks like the API has been resolved, so fantastic to see that come back on board. Both teams can be able to get some rifles here, but one of the things that was pretty classic in how Vitality played Haven, the other 3-site map. Right there. So they played a lot for early control to embed players. And that's something, again, you can try to do over towards Rubble primarily, up in mid as well. And then try to use those doors to exploit rotations around. I think we're going to see a look from that again. Both teams actually wanting to take control over Rubble here. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Vitality moving forwards here. I think greeted by Team Liquid again with the same combination of players, well, similar combination of players as they were greeted on B that last round. But of course, Team Liquid do expend utility early, but they drop back to the safety of the site. That fight will commence there, and as Vitality choose to take the fight elsewhere.
Now, ceNder hasn't been able to take too much space up towards C. Just cleared out the near angles, the rest of the team moving in. But what could end up happening is he may just open this door. They want to work into B, and that puts Jamppi in a miserable position. The second this door could potentially open. Now, one of the weaknesses of Liquid is they don't have a Sentinel for the info utility, so ceNder could also equally try to find a lurk timing in through C. and punish TL.
Jamppi didn't use any of his utility, but he already gained info. Knowing two players were in bid and B early, they know they've got quite a lot of dedication to players there, which means they can fight towards A main, but they don't win those fights. That's crucial. soulcas now locked in with the fault line, delivering before he drops. Team Liquid on the back foot. Seeker's right after him, trying to find info, but Vitality are heading directly towards this A site.
So unfortunate. Baby door wasn't broken down, so there was no escape for the player there. Even after the control, Jamppi, what can he do? 2 flashes and the dog available.
Knows exactly where all 3 players are. That's perfect. Now, Nats needs to decide where he's going to come in from.
This is so hard. Can try to drop here quietly, but Vitality holding hands, sitting in a tree.
And the longer Team Liquid wait, the more chances Vitality have to reposition and the more question marks for, well, Vitality. So the more question marks there are for Team Liquid on the map.
You were supposed to say HOLDING.
Jamppi, first good shot, rolling thunder. That's going to complicate the endeavor, but Nats has got a short. He keeps it close at least, but that's Vitality with a third.
Oh, we had the view from the International Space Station to watch that round get closed out for Vitality. Very nicely held from Tree. Never going to hate on a team for using an ultimate to secure a round like that with close numbers. And actually, BONECOLD, what a shot right there with the revolving door. That was absolutely nasty.
Right there. Salah's reaction was like, oh, gorgeous, man. That was nice.
Man. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing right there. It's up for interpretation. As Vitality back again. That was a wonderful dance throughout that round with individual players taking space. Rubble, Mound on opposite sides of the map. I really do feel like Vitality feel at home on these spread out maps, the 3 sites perhaps. I mean, Fracture is a map where you don't necessarily get to play as much to push and pull your opponents. The defender rotates so short. Vitality look reinvigorated over here. I also love this camera over by Rubble, just to give them permanent information. That's nice, but so is that pop flash from Jamppi right around the corner to send ceNder to the grave.
Vitality are going to move in quickly towards the safe side. Redgar's alone here. Shorty play, shorty play. Oh, Prowler. It does spot him, and MOLSI's able to spray down through the smoke to eliminate him. And now they do enter the site. Vitality cleanly take it over. A team like Liquid still have 4 players to work with. But look, Sayf doesn't want to hold back. Maybe they're going to wait for the flank to come in from Jamppi, but no, Sayf walks in. Maybe he gives space for his teammate soulcas, eventually finding some movement into the site. Jamppi eventually closes through. Vitality know he's there, more pressure onto the back line. But it's Destrian to pull the cross onto soulcas. Nats on site, Jamppi delivering as well. Nats is defusing. It's done halfway. Does he stick it? MOLSI springs through, interrupts it. Nats breathing calmly. Touches it again, MOLSI. He's got everything to try and delay this. Battle of the wits, battle of the comfort. Nats is uncomfortable as ever, tries to hold on to it. Oh, but he just not let. MOLSI's just playing with his feelings and he just runs out of time. Now Vitality, that was gorgeous.
Oh man, they can hear each other on opposite sides of the door. They both fall to the spike, but it's MOLSI dancing on the grave. Not giving any opportunity, barely just a pixel of a shoulder. Spamming through wall with the jump peaks too. I mean, what are you gonna do? No opportunity afforded. United in death?
United in death. Everybody died that round, but Vitality won it.
This is very true. I have to say, I'm liking how I see Vitality play a lot of these rounds. Team Liquid, that round though, we're able to punish the lurk from ceNder. May not be a lurk this time around. The Harbor ult into sight, they're going quick.
Jamppi has the move, so he doesn't get stand up. Obviously, Vitality are very favored to win this off. And yeah, not holding back on utility like that. You know, when you have teams on lower buys, there might be some shotguns in the mix, so might as well guarantee a site take and then solidify it with the weapon advantage that you have as well.
Sayf not ulted here. I mean, he gets a kill with a Sheriff regardless on the retake.
Yeah, one more pick from Team Liquid and this is possible. But MOLSI still on the back line, just being so hazardous. Oh, spray for the ages as well. Back it all up.
Still waiting.
Vitality just increase that gut by 4. Feeling like a football field in here.
Oh man, I love it. I was honestly a little bit perplexed to see Sayf not decide to use the ultimate on the retake there, but seeing the purchase in the next round. Actually, no, he was holding on to an operator for a moment, but decided instead to go for the rifle. I was thinking that if you're opping on defense, having the ult as a backup, similar to like Jet Knives, for retaking a site would be really important, but that doesn't even end up being their decision. Now, 5 players up mid, curiously enough, for Vitality. Similarly, though, do they actually commit? They use the smoke, and there's no util to stall them out.
The fact that Twisten has got himself to the back of the site could be useful, but no, they're losing all of the trade. Team Liquid coming alive. They win on all fronts. Twisten switched positions with his opponent. Oh, gets behind them, bullet to the back of the head. Still, Team Liquid with full control. Spike within their arms. ceNder cannot unlock it.
Guys, I have seen what happened. Oh, Twisten. I really like that play from TL. It was Redgar and Jamppi just taking mound control, opening the door, sort of slicing Vitality as they were already committing into the site. And that door, not as much of a concern for them. And I think TL do need to act fairly quickly to these side hits, because one thing that I think we saw yesterday to perfection is that when teams are playing, especially the Killjoy, her site stall is so powerful, especially around B and C. But the comp that TL is playing doesn't involve that whatsoever, right? They've got tons of smokes. They don't really have they don't have a true sentinel at all in terms of permanent information. And so Vitality may be onto something in terms of the just fast blitz it into B. That site is going to be weaker, but now that you have to keep in mind, well, okay, that door on your left might be opening up. If Baby Door's getting crunched down too, you can be very swiftly attacked.
And I think they also did a solid job on splitting that attack in two, right?
Yeah, the timing of that was absolutely perfect. And for example, someone like ceNder, who's been lurking every single round, if they try to quickly commit onto the B site, he'll never be in a forward enough position to punish those players, right? Whereas if they were to try to do this play again, maybe ceNder actually plays over C side to try and punish the mound players. As they're opening the door, he can swing on them.
But as we watch this round unfold, Team Liquid go ultra aggressive. Sayf gets one, doesn't get eliminated by Twisten, playing so close. Sayf didn't quite anticipate that one, but the assisted players there from Team Liquid do drop back to the site.
I mean, that's a huge W for Team Liquid, right? Smokes are down on Vitality. You lost your Neon. Okay, that's a bummer. But now, Vitality have no way to really block off the angles into the site.
Knights has gained so much information with this push off of C. He's basically cleared. It's not C, guys. Focus your effort towards the right-hand side of the map.
The thing is, there's trips, so he still can't push. And also, because they don't have info on B, Jamppi can't actually quickly rotate off. Yes, there's 2 players on A, but you'd love, with some more forward positioning, to be able to rotate and commit more players there. But the fact is, Vitality could still decide to rotate through Baby Door onto B.
Timing of no command could be optimal. Vitality, notorious for pushing even further than required.
They're
doing
going
just
B!
that right now. Who would have thought they're going to spawn? But it's called out. Look at Jamppi. He's turned his attention towards it. He knows exactly what's going on, and soulcas on the lurk. Oh, they put themselves in a pinch, though. This might be a blessing in disguise for Team Liquid. Jamppi delivered. Oh, he got given a takeaway kill there, 3 in a row, giving the round to Team Liquid. What a gift.
Last thing I need is some hero messing things up.
That was nasty. Swinging around, and Vitality thought they were going to have the site nearly for free.
Yeah, right into the danger zone. Perhaps overcomplicating things there, Vitality. Perhaps. Of course, you don't quite know what information your opponents are playing with. Maybe didn't consider that, you know, there was an option for them to back off. But either way, Vitality need to hold things back a bit, time out, clear their heads. Obviously, Jamppi catching them off guard there, not something they liked.
No, definitely not. I think Vitality have tried a few things. They've tried the fast hit. They've tried to, get solo players up in forward positions and move into them. Just hasn't quite worked out. On the actual side hits, they were just getting outplayed by like solo players or the duo players when it was opening door. Getting caught on angles they are not expecting. And yeah, you say maybe overcomplicating things moving into spawn. I think trying to react after realizing there are 2 players on the C site and they'd kind of been pinched off. If they were to move back towards Baby Door to B, they would have to go through that angle once again. So I actually don't hate the decision to go into spawn, but it meant that they weren't ever going to be able to clear out Link. And that's a real issue when working onto the B site. Again, so many, 4 different angles that players could be looking down on you from. and impossible to clear it with, you know, funneling in through one direction.
Yeah, Jamppi's having a hell of a game. 13-6 KD ratio. Looking pretty strong, topping the charts on the server. Team Liquid still a couple of rounds behind, but still Vitality, of course, on the attack. Many would have said favored, but, you know, comes and goes with the meta.
Do you think Radio Knight's redo active? Because if so,
It's
A
Radio
is a disaster zone. Oh my word. Vitality lose 2 players on the attempt, and look at the fast rotations. The power of Neon immediately over here. soulcas not far behind. As the hit comes through, BONECOLD finds the opener, but Jamppi dancing on through finds his.
Jamppi's just making circles around Vitality. He knows he's done his job, so he's going to back off, but soulcas doesn't read the same play. Bit of miscommunication there. Rolling Thunder expended. They're not going to hold on to C. They're going to push even further. Jamppi might be in trouble. No, Jamppi holds on. He anticipates it.
Nats from behind. He's so far on the lurk.
Oh, and Twisten cannot read it. Spray is rough, but doesn't matter. Team Liquid close the gap.
TL, when Vitality push, they pull back. They welcome Vitality into them with open arms. The movement of Jamppi on site. He owns C. You can't do anything against him. He finds his, dodges down, plays off his utility. It has been class from him. And the time he buys to allow his alert to come on through. He has 15 kills to his name. But he's also enabling his teammates. It's fantastic.
Their earlier hit here isn't really greeted by aggression, which maybe may cause some questions for Alarm, because there is aggression on the other side of the map on 2 ends as well. BONECOLD taken down first, Jamppi delivering, and Team Liquid know they've done their job. They drop back, good decision making, but Vitality still strong towards the right-hand side.
Jamppi, relax, give him a chance. Vitality have to run completely opposite side. Fatal will be able to clear most of that Viper pit. That's a funky one.
It actually is a funky one.
It gives them the opportunity to jump down out of heaven, down into pit. An attacker wouldn't really want to play there, especially if there's shorties in the hands of anyone on TL. Just a one-tap inside the smoke.
It's a tricky one. You've got to be very precise with your movement if you don't want to be caught off with Vitality not playing within it, playing further back rather. Redgar, good first shot. Keeping Team Liquid in charge, catching the spike, putting more pressure, amplifying. Twisten though, he's on the mark, but it's still being diffused. ceNder, can he interrupt it? Gets one, Jamppi's right after him. Team Liquid level the playing field. One survives, it's Jamppi yet again, and we've got 5-5 on rounds.
Team Liquid adapting to the attacks from Vitality. This was missing from them previously, but I love the double push. Jamppi again finding an opener. And the closer too. Literally everything. There's not a thing this man can't do. Vitality with 2 more rounds on attack though. Twisten has ultimate to get on site. This is gonna be a fast hit, I presume. With access to the showstopper, you don't want to give any fights early on over to TL. You just want to burst out at the first opportunity. And they can try to use Destrian's ult perhaps with the circles on the ground. Tell Twisten exactly where to send the showstopper with that Harbor ult.
Yeah, we've seen this attempt before. Now that it's paired up with a showstopper, Twisten not greeted by anyone, respected by Team Liquid, throwing down the Seekers in response.
There's no circles, and look at this, 3 players, 4 players up mid. They can open door and flank with 2 players in spawn at the same time.
There's a cam and a trip as well. So when the trip is enabled, he's going to wait a bit on the cam and have a lot of information on the back push.
Trip broken, they're going to come in straight behind.
ceNder waiting for it. He's going to be pincered in.
Wait, he got over the trip? He has no idea. He jumped it.
Oh, but either way, the rest of Vitality are playing to the back of the C site. The fight is elsewhere. This is taking a lot of time to clear all of these players. Finally, MOLSI falling. Is it going to be enough by Vitality? Team Liquid eventually taking them one by one. Sayf delivering. Team Liquid still winning these fights. BONECOLD with 2. This is a chance. Team Liquid touching the spike, and they end up winning all of these trades on the spike, defusing, and they will get the lead.
Vitality entered the site with 2 great ults to combo with another, but Team Liquid saw that. They foresaw the hit, abandoned the site entirely, and I don't think they took a fight that was disadvantageous the entire time, right back of the head. Then all the utility, players are concussed or blinded in Waterfall. That was perfection to the maximum on the retake. The utility and the follow-through from TL. left no opportunity for Vitality to have a chance in the round.
I was getting a bit worried there. Is it taking too much time? They're really going through their paces to try and clear out every single corner, but no. All down exactly to the timer that they would have liked. Not even troubled by the end with a defuse.
Vitality more spread this time, 3-1-1. It's been heavy side hits a couple of times in a row, not successful.
Sander's still probably scratching his head after how the hell did it get past my trip. Has to snap out of it though. And focus on the task at hand. 1 round left in the half.
Careful here.
The A-hold from Team Liquid is fairly weak here. Again, you always have to be mindful of the fast rotates. A Sayf finds a kill over by Mound. That ruins things. Again, Vitality wanted to leave Twisten over towards C. Perhaps look for a pinch or some kind of push and pull.
Here. Vitality still putting caution to Team Liquid, not knowing where they're going to go. They're going to push forward. Max delivers. BONECOLD again trades. Heading towards his B site. And with this ult, they'll know exactly what is going on.
Aware of Jamppi, but it doesn't matter. Jamppi finds the kill. 4 versus 2, BONECOLD, the Rolling Thunder into sight.
Redgar sidesteps though. He doesn't get affected by the Rolling Thunder. Brings out the short. He's going to play with a close distance. ceNder does know it. He needs a fight. Redgar! Shorty play galore. 7-5 Team Liquid. What a reversal. Being down solo, Vitality getting such a great start to this map, but no. The Blue Stallions deliver.
6 in a row to finish the half for Vitality. Jamppi topping the leaderboards with 18 kills on the sky. His defensive play simply unmatched. Always good for his and one on the site. The aggressive pushes that we saw so much of on Fracture returning here and there for Team Liquid. They played such a fluid defense. That just befuddled Vitality for those last 6 rounds.
Look, this is still a close endeavor, still 7-5, right? Still paces to be taken. Not all lost for Vitality. What do you reckon here, Ender? I'm going to maybe perhaps put you on the spot, but still, what do you reckon because of the importance of being ahead at the attack, right? Because Team Liquid haven't even played attack yet, and maybe history has taught us that if it's played correctly, that is a side to be on.
We definitely should not overreact after this first half. We saw a lot of good from Vitality early on, and then so much from Jamppi. Like, there are a lot of rounds where if Jamppi is not good for 2 or 3 on site, like, they should be losing these rounds. Like, he was bailing TL out of tough situations on those side hits, do not get me wrong. And now as we move into the second half, this is where we begin the conversation of, okay, how does this Neon look on attack? Because I still believe Cypher trips pose such an issue for the Neon when it comes to quickly executing into a site. Now the good news is, TL with their comp, I mean, they have so many ways to cut off lines of sight, right? Double smokes, plus the Neon wall as well. So they can try to block off and take space without going for too many early opening fights. But at the same time, we know it's going to be a bloodbath for Rebel Control.
I love that we get to see one corner, Team Liquid fans, and go to the other. We've got the Golden Hornets. Both sides really giving us quite a show tonight, assisting to the experience of this match, and really giving the players as well the support they've longed for. The past 3 years in EMEA, we haven't had a crowd for VCT EMEA, and now we do. And these teams are debuting with it.
Teams are readying up, fist bumps around. We enter the final half of the day, the final half of this series. And we enter it evenly matched. 2 blowouts back to back. And now these teams are neck and neck.
All right, time to enter pistol round. Half number 2, the last one of the series. Vitality now on the defense, Team Liquid on the attack, flipping the sides. Slow start from Team Liquid, spreading all across it. Redgar far pushed onto B. Whereas Team Liquid shows some early presence towards A, together with a toxic screen to keep Vitality busy there. Well, I believe their game plan is to lure their way into this left-hand side.
This camera ceNder was able to put down is quite strong. He took damage, so I presume they're aware of this camera. Yeah, Nats just turns around the corner to bust that one down. And that's going to cause Vitality to be a little bit concerned. 3 players in mid, they're about to find Redgar.
They're looking for info, they're looking to take the pace to their own devices.
Wonderful.
Destrian hits first blood.
But you have to hit go. After that moment, you have to go flying in. But check out that one-way from ceNder. A little bit nasty, stalls out, allows 4 players to be here on the rotation.
It's done its job, right?
With 100 credits.
The defenses are there. Reinforcements arrive. 4 players, as you've said, they're here. Team Liquid reacted fast, but Hull did not want to push through that one way, but they're going even further, and they're going into the line instead. They might get their heads ripping apart, but no, it's a brawl, it's a gunfight, and still, it's being traded out equally with Jamppi now left alone for Team Liquid. He has to pick up the spike, but it's well within control of Vitality. Has to play it patiently. 2 different corners. Not necessarily an ended round 4. Oh, knows where he is. Guiding light. Will it be timed well? Knows that one has been blinded, but the other plays anti-flash to perfection. Vitality with a second pistol of this map.
Nicely held there from Vitality. I like the delayed fight up in mid. Caught Redgar completely out of control. And then starting to see some of the value of the Cypher. Something that was lacking in the previous half, that heavy sight stall. TL had to fight their way out of the sight hits. Vitality can rely more on the utility, on the setup of this Cypher to stop TL in their tracks.
That goes there.
What's he got here? 1 diagonal, 1 just straight up in main. Nothing too fancy. But again, when Neon is always leading the charge, she can't slow down to break that. So the second player into the site has to be ready and on tripwire duty. You have to have someone fully committed to instantly snap locking onto those in the coming rounds in order to make it so that Sayf just instantly doesn't die. Right, especially because every choke point is going to be smoked off. That's TL's comp. So it's just going to be spammed through smokes onto that Neon if they are not diligent and helping Sayf out.
Yeah, this is twice where Redgar plays the lurk. I wonder if Vitality starts to catch up on it, so when they see him present, they'll know that the plan of the team is to go elsewhere.
Whoa, 2 doors opening at the same time, over towards A and here into B. But TL don't really commit off of any of them except the spike that got left a little bit to its own devices.
So the only lack of information here for Vitality is the movement towards the left-hand side. The tree entry got cleared out by Twisten.
Yeah, and that's an important one. But it almost gives them false information because they're like, oh, he didn't actually walk in here. It's going to be a B hit, right? No, it's 5 players creeping up behind the wall, ready to pop out from behind.
Ooh, guiding light together with a dash through from the team. Twisten, though, has hold his ground with a Spectre, but a lot of pistol kills falling through and some Spectres to be collected.
Sayf has gotten so far forward here. Maybe a little bit quicker than a Vitality would be expecting. They're slow on the retake, though, and clearing out the close angles. Still, if he could find one on this angle, Vitality won't let it happen. Perfect play.
They know where Sayf is. They're going to try and stun him up.
Look at the util from MOLSI. It catches that Neon every time.
Yeah, they know exactly where he is, but they're going to have to follow through on it, and he's able to swing by on the contact of his teammate. Still, Piss is doing a marvelous job. MOLSI, he's got enough bullets. soulcas is alone, though. He's got to be hell accurate here. So darn close to this. MOLSI's been softened up, but well thought out for BONECOLD to swing from a different corner. Diffusal coming through, and Vitality square things up.
Good to see the protocol from Vitality there. MOLSI not leaving anything to chance with the utility.
Weapon here.
From Prowler to the eye to spot out Sayf, and then also catching him. Really nice on the fly stuff at the end there. And now the thing's all tied up. Ooh. It doesn't get better than this, Pavlos. Now Vitality, for them, this actually is a true bonus coming on in. Have plenty of cash for the next one. I do think they upgraded into a Stinger in a little bit, but making sure they have enough. Now because this tripwire isn't so far forward, it's possible TL do scout that one out. You can see Sayf is directly behind it, so you can break it. I think these trips need to be placed a little bit deeper into sight to have that same level of effectiveness that I'm expecting them to have versus the Neon.
Yeah, Vitality really here just trying to do as much damage as they can, right? It's a matter of placing their players at the right time. Of course, Team Liquid playing the game of information.
Yeah, it's great to see them sort of go in, scout things out, and recommit over on opposite sides. A side is fairly weak right now, just Twisten on the area. I'm unsure if that baby door has been broken down yet.
Shutting them down.
If it has, that gives TL so many options. in terms of potentially splitting over towards B. It is open, so that's exactly what they're going to do. Perfection. They could contact on through if they wanted to. Oh, wow. They're really going to catch Vitality by surprise. Vitality, who have now moved 3 players over into A.
They had to make a bit of a gamble stack now towards this A site. BONECOLD holding it out. He hasn't quite found out of the movement. It's going to come in quite late. Only when the spike is being touched in, he's able to spot a player out of his opposing side.
I don't love seeing the spike planted all the way in pit. That's a safe plant, but very hard to play for in the post. Positioning, though, Sayf is perfect to backstab Destrian as he clears through Baby Door.
Still a lot of utility here for Vitality, and Sayf is able to hold back on Destrian.
That's what you need.
Pointed out, Jamppi. Guiding light, delaying, Team Liquid. That's exactly what they require. Battle them out before they get the safety of the site. Team Liquid back on top.
We saw all day yesterday in that slugfest that went 20-18 on Lotus. The B plants ran into so many problems because it was so hard to control the area around Baby Door, right? But this position makes it so much simpler. When you have a crossfire, you have that backstab on any late lurk from the defender to come on through there. It is what you need to see. It makes the B plant so much more deadly in the future for TL.
Liquid actually going to change up the pace completely. Not an information game here. So on first contact, they'll try and just move on through. But of course, greeted by utility, not going to take their chance by moving forwards. No, they watch towards the left-hand side whilst Nats clears the area out for them. ceNder trying to retrieve some fight, and that's where you get Nats. All of a sudden, bringing his team right back in the fight. They take the fight. Vitality not holding back at all. Not wanting to play pace post-plant. They want to make their opponents feel uncomfortable. Again, Twisten keeping up the pressure.
Yeah,
Patios going towards them. And of course, having the ultimate available, maybe an extra step to this fight. No command.
Wow. The play somewhat shut down. Now, because the spike hasn't been planted, he has so much time to work with. He can wait out the entirety of this ultimate, and then he has his own showstopper and double satchels if he wants to get in. The problem is, it's way too easy to get traded, so he's going all the way around. This is completely unexpected.
Now, it's been some time since he's made his presence known. There is a chance Team Liquid will now think to check behind them.
He needs at least the first kill with his rifle, then he can switch to the ult and secure the round.
They're not checking it.
He sees the one.
That's
the two.
That's the second one, and that is the clutch by Twisten.
The guts on this guy. He's in his own spawn. 20 seconds later in the enemy spawn, he made use of the time, the game sense, the understanding to know that that is an option to clutch it on through.
Clear-headed. Unscathed by the brawling commencing prior to that clutch.
And that's not to mention the opening kill he got. That was a true 1 versus 3. Till eventually the rotation just completely caught TL off guard.
Yeah, if Zest is watching this and being like, yeah, it's got B that taught him to play like that. It's got B that taught him how to do that.
Wow.
Oh, wow. All right. Timeout, of course. That was quite a stressful one. A lot of techniques illustrated.
Yeah, I mean, that round, I think Vitality at the start, or sorry, rather, TL played at the start almost as best as you can, right? Working into B, then knowing that they didn't have control over Rubble, right? That means that those 3 players on defense that did take control of that, they're busting down Baby Door, they're gonna quickly attack you on the B site. That's why TL decided to back off instantly, open the door, rotate into C. That was the perfect call. It was just then, on the retake, the defensive utility was fantastic, and then, I mean, Twisten was in a 1 versus 3, right? Like, that was a round that TL were going to win until Twisten appeared.
Square, 8-8. Couldn't be closer. Saw 2 teams battle it out, go through their paces, even on overtime. I believe ending score, 18-16. Navi Croyd.
2018.
2018. Yeah.
Even more.
No, it's 2023 under.
I'm living in the past. Back in my prime.
Internet Explorer would be like?
Nah, I was a league caster back then. That sucked.
Bit of an upgrade here. All right, still. Ooh, Sayf gets caught off. again, Vitality not really scathing away from holding out B with so many players.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing how many variations I think Vitality have shown, because a lot of teams will just send 3 players Rubble the majority of rounds, but I think Vitality have actually played pretty passive over there a lot of the time, just having Twisten sort of hold that angle right on top of the attacking Viper wall. He's even played behind this box before. We saw that in the round 2 of this half. Seemed very effective for a couple of kills.
Again, Redgar on the lurk. Like we pointed out, he's been doing that quite a bit.
Wall down just to clear this angle. Oh, door is open. That was almost a difficult timing for him to be caught on.
Yeah, and he's got a choice to make.
And
He can
actually,
move into it.
see, so because Redgar's so far forward, he's calling the rotations, but also because that door is down, they have the ability to contact on in here again. He's going early, though.
Oh, yeah, and BONECOLD is there to read it.
I don't
and
like
now
that.
the space that they gained is no longer there, and they've run out of time. 20 seconds, they've got to move in quickly.
3 players here, a Cypher trip as well.
It's so tough. but
Huge
Nats
kill.
is going to try and make this happen. All with his gun, all with his might. Some of them spotted through it. Nats again. 2, 3 to his name. Viper spit dropping, but they know. Surely they know. Twisten going for the shutdown on the shorty. Dubstep kill.
I'm telling you, buy that shorty secondary. It's always worth, and especially when there's a pit on the other side.
Hey, look,
gorgeous.
All the power to Nats to try to bring his team out of that
100%.
uncomfortable situation, but
He very, very nearly did it. I do think TL jumped the gun. Redgar trying to work in past Baby Door himself without players on B. I think you're trying to find a pinch there or get the rest of the team to sort of follow you through. It's a bit of a gamble, down in numbers.
Camera taken out.
I don't hate the attempt, especially with time ticking away. Just not the ideal situation, not the highest percentage play he could have made.
also you've got like some time to think it out, what your game plan is for the next round in particular. But of course, giving some gravity to this one. We've seen pistol rounds be successful for some.
Oh, util turned off. That's really bad for ceNder.
As blind as a bat.
Oh no!
And stunned like that. He shall fall, not flat. ceNder just delivering.
One enemy remaining.
And it's clean, very clean. Vitality just stonewall there, really. And Team Liquid just bumped their heads into it and just, dropped to the ground.
I didn't realize I was casting with Dr. Seuss. Elementary rhymes right there. Oh, man. That was a great shutdown, though, because, again, ceNder did not have the utility to work with, but that opening kill onto Sayf that Destrian was able to get, then playing through the gaps in the smoke. Fighting forward, knowing, hey, if he plays down, he's going to get run over with utility, not be able to play off his own trips. Exactly the right call with all the pressure he was under.
This is a round. This is a round where Vitality can potentially just make quite a gap with Team Liquid and just start their effort to close this map out. But there's also the round for Team Liquid to draw it back and try and close that gap themselves.
So this is a variation on Vitality's Rebel control, where previously they would play for it with the utility and stand forward. Now they actually default back into having Twisten just holding that angle again. The rest of the team rotated onto B, expecting TL. Similarly before, when they heard that heavy Rebel control against them, they went B into opening the door into C. Vitality were trying to read that, but TL are mixing it up on them.
Door opened up. Twisten spraying through it, nothing found.
And yet TL still leave options open. Their smokers are playing outside C and B respectively. Twisten is re-cleared into tree.
I mean, C is open.
It's true. All that will be broken. I think this is a great position to be in if you are Vitality, because BONECOLD has access to the Rolling Thunder. He's playing a softer C-type this time around.
Yeah.
And playing to retake with it would be huge.
And the fact that he's not shooting anyone with the cam is just giving him all the information in the world.
Oh no, he left the camera because he was so concerned about getting rushed by Sayf. Now if he goes into it, I think it has been broken already because he tried to pop back in.
But he knows everybody's walked in. That's the important part, which means they can take the fight right here, right now. MOLSI doubles up for Sayf. Has a piece of the pie of himself. BONECOLD trying to calm things down a bit. He's got a Rolling Thunder, and he's got 2 to deal with, but there's a flank in the making, and Redgar wants to be a sneaky boy.
The longer BONECOLD waits, the worse it is. Twisten was expecting it.
He was, and he will be shooting in between the eyes. Still, Jamppi to be isolated. Will the Rolling Thunder be expended? Jamppi holding out on side. Oh, he's being sneaky behind himself. Oh,
there's no one better.
They've wasted a Rolling Thunder. And Jamppi can only expect where Twisten is coming from, he knows. And he's as calm as that, closes it out. Team Liquid They're in it. They're in it to win it.
There is no one better in the clutch today than Jamppi. What a freak. Ratting on sight, looping around, killing the planter. Winning in the 1v1 as well. He has been on top throughout this map. And trailing Vitality by 1, he has to maintain this form. Vitality are not going to make it easy.
No, they are not. And Team Liquid are actually definitely increasing the pace here. Sayf, look how far forward he's pushed up. Has to wait for his team to come a little bit closer to him and assist him with the util so he can enter the site.
This is a unique attacking wall as well. Cutting off Baby Door, cutting off towards CT as well. Instead of that more vertical line.
Sayf is actually considering pushing through that smoke himself, trying to find info towards it. BONECOLD doing quite a little bit of damage there, taking some himself, but it really is just slithers of health, nothing much. Twisten, oh, you cannot miss that.
And watch the flood into the B site. Now everyone's on the way.
Oh, he's got to hope that missed shot didn't cost him the round. He's better hope that's not the case. See if his team can really have his back on this one.
TL taking their time. They haven't committed yet. Vitality getting pulled between two sites right now.
But Vitality are sort of hoping that it's going to be a beating. Twisten, second missed shot. You cannot have that. And Team Liquid will take control. Full power onwards.
Spike planted.
Door open, but this time Nat's playing on the edge. Sayf in the fight with soulcas. Team Liquid are cutting Vitality down.
It's so clean. Nothing Vitality do is successful. Not this round. Team Liquid winning their own fights. And Vitality hoped that would have been the case for them, but no. When pressure hits the fan, it's not going their way. Unable to close this map. Not yet. Team Liquid on their way to get to that double-digit mark themselves.
And my God, the calling from TL. Every time they have been able to control A main, control Rubble, they have just been doing the dirtiest things to Vitality, breaking down the door. That time, so many times before, they quickly had flooded, the Team Liquid flood into the B site. That time, though, they break it, they go in, they stop, cut noise for 10 seconds. Vitality begin to question everything. And then Team Liquid just cannot lose a singular fight. It just won't happen in that moment.
Nice.
Not much for Vitality here, not much at all. Shotgun for Twisten. Known for the scandals he can pull out of his pockets with that. Pushing forwards, Nats. First contact, successful. Nicely done. Dropping back now, they've done their job, pushing onto the site. There is a Twisten hiding out with a judge here, but they won't be contacting, not just yet. Fight onto the site, they're gonna try and pincer him in. Twisten gets it, flashed over, tries to spray through. 3 bullets remaining, Twisten! This really is the definition of a judge, jury, and an executioner. And Team Liquid now on the back foot with a minute to spare, Sayf. Wondering where to go, where to run, where to hide, but there's nowhere he can. It's to hell he goes. Nats. How do you get your team out of this one?
Toxins going up.
You're in a corner, boxed in, and you've have to make your way out of there somehow. Punching, kicking. Calm your breathing, man. Get into the zone. Prowler spotted, no.
30 seconds left.
Position configured, Vitality, no.
Toxins going up.
Again, give it another shot. 20 seconds, you've got time perhaps, but no. MOLSI, he's there to stop it. No clutch here, not now. MOLSI shows Team Liquid. This is still Vitality's ground. They're still
Twisten,
in advantageous position.
What
Twisten.
is this? He gets full flash, 3 pumps to stop the push coming in. The second he stops pulling the trigger, that's when TL like, okay, it's our time to run around the corner, but he's still got 3 more shots left in the tank. And that's all he needed to find 2 kills. Unbelievable work. I think Vitality only had the 2 rifles heading into that round.
Yeah, only 2 rifles.
Those are the hero rifles. No, it was a hero judge in that situation that pulls away with that one. Twisten quickly climbing up here. And look, if Team Liquid are gonna dance with you, run around the map, test you, and pull you around as well, it's gonna be Vitality that just beat you down with the guns. The individual play from Twisten to show up there.
Those kills with a judge was a slap to the face for Team Liquid. Yeah, it was a big realization. Stop. Put a big blow to their momentum that they were gathering on this comeback. Slight comeback, I know. Not much of a difference in the rounds, but a comeback nonetheless. Some tempo in their veins, but no. Shut down. Knocking on their heads.
Vitality now within 2. TL trailing. Team Liquid, I don't want them to second doubt themselves.
They can't afford to.
Twisten has an Odin. Twisten went from a judge to an Odin, a showstopper in the back pocket. What is this?
He's ready to press mouse 1.
Huh?
Oh, no kill at the start.
Could you imagine though? 3 TL players just in front of that would have been ruined.
Not yet, maybe foresight for the future. ceNder. Yeah, we've got the script guys. Calm down. Sayf, pushing forwards. Flash as well. They've got the B site. Last time, they pushed towards spawn. They're going to do it again, but from a different direction. Nay, head towards C instead. Paranoia, accurate, catching up BONECOLD, but BONECOLD is there and ready. BONECOLD delivering! Vitality, not stopping here. Showstopper in their hands, moving onto the site. Jamppi in the corner.
Watch
Spotted.
Nats.
So down low. Nats on the back flank, though. He's going to do so much.
Huge.
Spike being diffused, and there's a wall there to stop him. Snake bite, spray through as well. Nats, surprising. Viper spit, Twisten, Odin in hand, and Vitality! They do it again! They do it again! Defusal on its way and putting them on match and series points.
One punch after another from Vitality.
Match point. Their spirit is
Unbelievable. Quickly fighting, reacting to the spawn push from TL. And BONECOLD to get both on that. Nats goes into the ultimate, and that blew out the last chance in the round, not expecting there to be a third player. Twisten swinging with an Odin. Absolutely absurd.
If that previous round didn't put a stop to Team Liquid's momentum, this one definitely did.
TL playing fast up into B. There's also that camera eventually.
Potential for a fast push as well. Sayf overdrive.
It's true. The problem with a fast push is Breach is ready, right? BONECOLD has a concuss that hits that line.
And tripwise.
Yeah, there's seizes as well. Like, these are the 2 players that will stall out a hit best from Vitality, and Team Liquid don't want to deal with that. It'll be a late move into Rubble. How many times have we seen this? 1-1-3, moving into Rubble. This very quickly is going to become a B crunch, I believe. But they're going to have to spend utility to clear this one away. They don't feel comfortable on match point.
Look, man,
Taking the gamble.
They're at the 1 minute mark and they've gained literally no ground, no info.
Oh, does he just spam through this when they try to go baby door?
They can. Yeah. He's done it before with a Vandal. What stops him from doing it with the Odin?
Nothing.
Actually, Josh back to the side. Safe. Breaking the door.
Here's the pinch.
Dark cover, allowing the cross towards B. Nightfall. That deafens them. Can he find them? MOLSI hiding behind the smoke, looking to spray. It's a Vandal. I'm not sure he wants to spray through that. Definitely going to reveal his position.
BONECOLD on the flank.
For them.
Shut down.
One of the back foot. No. Dropped. Now 4v5. Team Liquid. Hold it through. Twisten there to stop it. Odin in hand. MOLSI into the fight as well. Vitality determined. Team Liquid. Can they recover? Spike is theirs. They can chill it out a bit.
ceNder has ult, but no bodies nearby. He has to get to site to pop that one. But if he gets it off, it's huge.
Wraps up again once more. Paint shot, Redgar challenged, wants to hold the angle, successful, now keeps it going, TP to the side, switching it up, Nats has to spray it, or else it's going to get diffused, has to do it now, ceNder keeps his team alive, and through that, they shall diffuse, through that, they shall take down Team Liquid, and the boys in black and yellow will take their first match home.